have what you call it for their budget. She's right, but then you're right. That you can't really have an official quota. But Cindy, let me just say this
But
right here.
it's
Uh,
not it's not written, but we all know it existed, right? So if you were speeding, you're going to get pulled over. Period. End of story. And I'd always say to the cop, "Oh, I guess you got to make your quota this month," and then I really get the speeding ticket, right? Because I didn't shut my mouth.
yep. Yeah.
Now, maybe if I shut my mouth, I might
They
have got a
make they
warning.
caught off my wife. She's always getting swept up.
Well, then she tell her to take her foot off the pedal and
I'm about
slow
to
it
say
down.
she probably is always speeding.
She already. Hey, but guess what? She goes get some dismissed. She never had one put on her record.
Okay, so she goes and fights it. And if the cop doesn't
Hey,
show up, if the cop doesn't show up, then it just gets dismissed. And if the cop shows up, he'll fight it. And then it's in
one
the
time she
judge's
was so
hands.
serious she had two attorneys show up.
Bruh, like cops can't legally have a quota. Like when it comes to that, we
That's
already know that.
it's not written
It's
Well,
a
down.
it's
It,
unwritten
usually
rule
It's
still.
not legal.
we all
It's
know it. Okay, I don't know where you live, but where I live, it actually exists, right? We all know it. We know it as citizens here,
He's not
and we
saying it
just
doesn't exist. He's just saying it's not legal, right, Piff?
right. It's
That's
not written
literally what I
down.
meant.
It's
That's I
not.
Literally,
Yeah,
y'all
said
don't
what I
you're right,
meant.
listen.
Piff.
People
It's
when they
not.
speed.
It's
Like
not written down in the rules, but we just know it exists. How's that? We just know that it exists.
every company has a quota. Like a lot of companies have a quota. Like the hell? Like it's not
Piff,
Hey,
just
y'all listen to
cops.
this. Hey, listen to
Piff,
this. Listen to this. Hey, when mom get pulled over, why does the cop pull her over?
Speeding.
Okay.
Piff. They have
That
a
just proved
count.
our point.
They have a county here in Georgia called Adel, Georgia, with about 8,000 people, and they collected over $800,000 worth of traffic
You said
citations.
where in Georgia? You said where in
Adel,
Georgia?
Georgia.
Say it again.
Adel, Adel, Adel,
Mm-hmm.
Georgia.
Yeah, no, I know where that is.
Okay, great. They collect over, I think, like $700,000 of speeding tickets with 8,000 people living in the town.
You know why?
I'll tell you
Same goes
why.
on mine.
You know
A
why?
small a small piece of that county crosses over 75, and they sit on the
Exactly.
overpass and just write tickets.
And you know why?
And the budget for Adele is run off of those tickets.
And you
Come
know
on now,
why? Yeah, you gonna
because go ahead. You can answer it yourself.
because we be speeding through that shit. Like I ain't gonna lie, we definitely do be speeding through that shit. Like, come on, bro. You
Don't
just
It's
speed,
said
you
it.
don't
it's
speed.
a it's a quota, bro. It's not
Nah,
just.
it's not a quota, bro. Like they know they're gonna catch
It
us
is a
speeding
quota.
through there.
It's a quota.
No, it's not that. They just know they're
Okay, then
gonna
tell
catch
everybody.
us
Listen,
doing exactly what is
I Piff,
illegal right
is there
there.
speed limits? Is there speed limit signs everywhere you go?
I
Yes,
mean,
yes,
it's on
there
your
is.
phone now. It's on your car now. It's on the roads now. Like I mean,
Look,
if they've been on the roads
we have a
forever.
law that you're not, they passed it maybe 10 years ago, that you're not supposed to be on your phone when you're driving. Have I ever got pulled
We're
over
a
for that?
hands-free
Never,
state.
never, ever. I've got pulled over now twice for that.
He,
Twice.
but I'm just saying,
Now they're implementing that law. But
he
I
brought up,
understand why they're implementing that law.
but he
I
brought up Georgia, Cindy. When he
I
brought up
can't go to
Georgia,
Georgia.
I lived half of my life here in Georgia. At the end of the day, like I know exactly where he's talking about in Adele, Georgia. And it does cross right, that highway, that expressway does cross right over 75. We haul ass through there.
Well, that's illegal.
And you know what? That's why they know. They just know people are going to do that. And they guess what? Set speed traps. Guess what? You're going to get pulled over. That has nothing to do with a quota. They just know they're going to make it based off of what people do.
It's a quota.
And that's
Trust
what
me.
that's the point I'm bringing to you, bro. Why would they create a budget for 8,000 people in a county with over $500,000 when the county doesn't even produce that?
That's the same
Because just
reason
like
why
business,
KPI exists. It's the same reason why analytics exists. It's the same reason why all of that shit exists, dude. Like they project year over year what's going to happen.
And that's where they're collecting the money from, speeding tickets, not
right?
from the
It's a
state.
business. Gotham, what do you think?
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's a business.
It's a business, Jonathan. You're right.
And that's
Jonathan's
what we're
right.
saying. That's just saying.
But again, stop speeding. And I should put my phone
Exactly. If
down.
you
I
stop
should put my phone
speeding
down
through
when I'm
there,
driving.
if you stop speeding through there, they wouldn't make the same numbers, and that projected number goes down like anything else.
So don't be heavy leaded footed, whatever I tell you.
So Tiff, when you think when they don't make those numbers, do you think the police will stop people just because to reach those numbers?
It depends on where you at in certain areas.
Tell you
It
about
depends
I
Georgia.
on
agree.
like
I
This
agree.
if you talking about in Georgia, Forsyth County, don't get caught up. Forsyth County, you better not get caught up.
they give you a ticket for any and everything they
No,
feel like they could
Forsyth
pin on
County
you.
at nighttime will whip your ass and then give you a
Well, if a
ticket.
woman's having a baby and her husband's speeding, do they usually let them go?
No,
Yes, they
no,
do.
Depends on
And
the
no,
sometimes
officer.
they'll get and
no.
sometimes
Depend.
they'll give you
In
sometimes they'll
Georgia,
give you an escort to get to the
That is
hospital, right?
correct.
man,
Correct.
try
That is.
GSP. Try GSP in that moment.
It depends on the officer. Some will give you
Man,
escort.
try
Some will call
GSE.
you. No, a GSP, depending on the officer, they will escort you or call ambulance for the situation.
I don't think there's anybody in this room that hasn't seen bad cops do bad things, good cops be good cops, right? Like give you a break. We've seen it all. I mean, come on, we're not dumb people in this room, right? You get pulled over by an asshole cop, he's going to be an asshole. Period. And then sometimes you get pulled over by a good cop and he goes,
That's
okay,
true.
just slow it down. You know, there's no fire here. You know, next time I'm going to give you a ticket. Okay. And again, it's all how you approach that officer, too.
But
The
nah,
minute you go,
so
oh, what did
so
I do wrong? What did you do wrong?
so
That's, you
look,
don't say that.
Cindy. So look, Cindy, what I do agree with is that it all depends on where you at in this country. Because we do have things called sundown towns. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I learned that. I
And
learned
it's
that here. Truthfully, I learned that here. I never even knew that existed. Thank you for that
you know what I'm saying? So
knowledge.
if you're in a sundown town, it don't matter what you do. If you are the wrong race driving through there, you know what I'm saying? You in some shit. And if you there, and the reason why it's called sundown is because the sun is setting or it's down already. So we can do whatever we want to you.
No, it's not. We can do whatever we want to you, bro. That's not what it means.
That
That's
is the whole reason why they call it sundown.
guys. It doesn't mean it's that we can do
My
whatever we
God,
want.
Jonathan. Okay,
Anyone
whatever.
It doesn't
want
Why
mean
do
that.
they
It
No,
call?
mean you
Why do
better
they
be.
call it
Colin,
It means you
sundown?
better
Jonathan,
be out of there before
we
sunset.
don't,
That's
we
what it
don't,
exactly.
means.
That's what it
we
means.
don't,
That's
Jonathan,
what it means. Thank
we
you.
don't live in
Colin.
That
those.
is literally what I just said.
Hey, but Jonathan, we don't live in that type of area, so we don't see it to witness
Yeah,
it, right?
yeah.
But
I know
people
that.
do.
Bro, I live in Georgia. Fool. Like, you really gonna tell me that?
No, no, but 50, you
So
said that. Well,
we
go ahead.
go ahead,
Go ahead.
JB.
No, go
No,
ahead. Go ahead.
we have sundown towns as well, but it's much different now than it used to be. So if you go up to Rosman up the mountain, when I was cheering in high school, we got our buses shaked, egg, they sliced our tires, and they had a big banner that said no ends allowed when we were coming up to for a football game. Now this was back in the early
Wait. How the fuck
well,
that
late
affect you? How the fuck that affect you?
late 90s. No,
How to
hold on,
know?
She
hold on,
had
hold on.
black children.
Let me
Cause you
finish.
know you're not
So,
in. I'm not gonna-
well, because I went to the city school, so it was half and half. Okay, I went to the city
Just
school. I
let
didn't
them
go to the
know
county
real.
school,
You like the black ones.
and he knows that. But I didn't have kids then. I was in high school. So anyway, so yeah, so anyway, we had to wait for them to bring vans up the mountain to get us home. So, but that was late 80s, guys. So now you can go
Nah.
through Rodman. Wait, hold on. I'm not done. You now my kids, my ex-husband, they can drive through Rosman. Now they're not going to stay. They're not going to pull up to somebody's house and knock on their door, but they can drive through there without being, shot at nowadays.
You ain't going through no Forsyth County in 2025 right now, nighttime, and expecting not to get harassed by police officers straight up. Like we
Hey, I'm gonna
ain't
be
gonna
honest
say
with you.
that.
Here,
You
do
talking
they
about the
Hey,
have? Do they
police?
You
That's
ain't
have?
going
hold
through.
on,
different.
hold on.
Do they
Not
have
even
Pip?
that. Not even
Hey,
that.
listen,
Not even that.
I've
I'm
been
gonna
through
go up
four.
in your state. I'm gonna go up in your state, real. You ain't going to Reedsfield, North Carolina, right?
I live right near Reedsville. What are you talking about?
Reeds, but you don't live in Reedsville, do you?
But
Yeah,
she's
but I've
white.
been
What are you
through
talking
there a
about?
million times.
What I'm trying to tell you is that's where the
How,
little.
wait a
That's
minute.
where.
I have been
That's
through
where.
there a million times with my ex-husband, with I had at night and whatever. Now, but yes, you do have to be careful about getting pulled over.
Okay,
You're more
okay, and
Well,
apt to
thank
get
you,
you're more
I've
thank
been through
you,
apt to
thank
Forsyth.
get
you,
pulled
thank
over.
you, thank you, thank
I've been
you.
through
I know
Forsyth
you
County
wasn't
plenty
going.
of
I
times
know
at
you.
night.
But Pip, I have
No.
a question. I have a question for you.
Mhm.
Don't you have black cops down there?
They worse than the
Not in
white
those
ones.
not in
They
those
worse than the
counties.
white ones.
In the city, we
They
do.
Not you
worse
straight
than
out
the
of
white
Compton
ones.
over there.
Yeah,
Like
I don't want to get pulled over by a black cop,
they
Cindy.
worse than the white ones. Like they gonna do
That's
it
a
Black
They
just to
cops are
are.
fact.
worse
impress
than
the
the white
white
ones.
ones. They
But
gonna
in the
do it just to
sundown
impress the
towns,
white.
Cindy,
Yes,
Cindy, to answer
yes.
your question, in the sundown towns, no, there are no black cops in the sundown towns.
And if
But
there
they're right though.
is, and if there is, they're just basically. You remember that overseer that was black all the time? That overseer. You remember how they had Django in the movie Django? Remember how they had him impersonating a black slaver? Like at the end of the day, that's the same way that would go. The same overseer that would snitch on the ones that's trying to run away. That's the ones that are the black cops in the sundown towns. That's the
Hey,
same ones.
Pip, I think
Listen,
you're being a little
I've been
dramatic.
through Forsyth. I've been through Forsyth County many times at night. Never got pulled over. Never
There's
got
two different.
Yeah,
arrested.
There's two
I think
different.
Pip is
There's two
being
different.
dramatic.
No, 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 no. There's two different Forsyths. There's different Forsyths. You got Forsyth that Forsyth County, and then you got Forsyth, Georgia. Which one you been through?
Forsyth County, the one up near, next to Alpharetta.
Oh, you've been through Forsyth County and never been harassed by anyone.
Never.
Okay.
I got
Who
pulled
is
over
who is
Is it
once,
speaking?
because
bro.
he's
Who
light
is speaking?
skinned?
Who is
Hey,
speaking?
this is
It's hit
Jay.
or miss.
And
This is Jay. Okay, I don't believe you, by the way.
well,
I'm just
hey,
not
listen. First of
going.
all, listen.
Because
You're
I
a
got
Georgia
my
boy.
Well,
ass
you
whooped.
can't.
I got my
Pip, you a
ass
Georgia
whooped
boy.
at 17 years old in Forsyth County.
so,
You understand
That
me?
that's where
so
that's where the cops molested Tiff
Like I
at.
got my
That's
ass
where the cops
whooped
molested
in
Tiff at.
Forsyth County.
I remember that's
never,
when he got.
never,
That's where Piff got molested by the police.
Yeah,
You know
boy.
what? The
You
fact
diabolical.
never.
That's
that
diabolical.
is, you know what? You need to be canceled. I think you have Alzheimer's. I think you have dementia now,
If you
Jonathan.
didn't deny it,
Like
you're
I
supposed to
think you
deny that
got
before you go to any Sudden
nah, because
Nation.
he gotta have
Like
dementia
what?
for saying some shit like
I agree. Why did you deny that
You sound
shit?
like he
That was
told on you.
wild.
Yeah, never had an issue. But if you grew up there,
how
I
do
get
y'all
it.
not?
I
Oh
can see
no,
why.
because they muted me. That's why I couldn't deny it. Oh,
Oh,
okay,
stop
got
The
you.
mute. Stop
only
Got
muting Pip.
you.
now I had a
No,
now I
no.
had an issue one time
One
that was
second.
pretty
One
bad.
second.
So
1 second. 1 second. Too. I mean,
okay,
Piff. Molested, pester or harass someone in an aggressive or persistent manner. You need to get your mind about the gutter, bro.
boom.
Yeah, how do I need to get my mind out the gutter if you said it?
Once
He just gave you
again,
the definition.
I just read you the definition. You just
But
said
you
you
the
were
only
pestered.
person that said it.
No, exactly. Pestered or harassed someone in an aggressive or persistent manner.
Okay.
And he didn't get the definition. That's why he
He
responded
doesn't.
that
He
way.
doesn't
So
get it. He doesn't get it. That's fine.
he does. Yeah, yeah, he doesn't. But I will tell y'all a quick story. So one time, so I went to
Oh,
Wingate
you getting
University.
old.
Wait a minute, hold on. I went to Wingate University. So I was going to a friend's, my ex boyfriend and I had two seater, 300ZX back then. I was going to Greensboro on these back roads. So I got pulled over for going 5 miles over the speed limit. So the cop gets me out of the car and what he says, come back here with me. And actually I had two people. It was my ex boyfriend and then my that's a girl, and she was sitting in his lap. Anyway, never mind. We were going to a party in Greensboro. So the cop gets me out and has me to come back to his car. And he was like, "Ma'am, are you okay?" And I'm like, huh? Yeah, I'm fine. No, really, are you okay? I'm like, what do you
You had a
mean?
black
Am I
girlfriend?
okay? So yeah, I did. So I guess he
That's
thought we'd been
why.
hijacked by the black man.
That is why.
I
That
got a
is
man named Jim.
crazy. And he was like, "Well, I was just checking because you have two people and, it's a two-seater. And I was just checking if you were all right." And I was like, "Sir, that's my boyfriend. Bye. Thank you. Bye."
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta be careful, man.
Wait a minute,
It's like
hold on. And you don't think that happens to two white people back in the
Hell
group?
no.
now, no,
Really? Okay.
hell no.
I'm walking into another room right now, so he's not even prepared for what I'm gonna ask him. Hey, Ray, I got a fast question for you. When we were dating back in high school and we were parked on the beach, tell these people what happened when the cop pulled it in. What'd they say? Do you remember
Were
what the
y'all
cop
on
said to us?
Southie?
No, no,
Oh,
no.
you mean on 40 steps
Yeah, we're at 40 steps
in the hunt?
in the hunt. What'd the
Well,
cop say?
he
Tell the
knew.
truth. He
Well,
asked us for both of our licenses.
yeah.
And what'd he say?
So what are you doing with this
This
kid
kid,
from Revere?
correct.
Yeah, on this
And
place.
does your daddy know
Yeah, yeah.
that you're with
You're with
this
this,
kid,
yeah, me.
meaning Ray?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a
That don't
profile. That's a
happen in the
profile there.
South, Cindy. I'm sorry.
Well, that happened, guys.
Piff, how you gonna say it doesn't happen in the South, Piff? How you gonna speak for the whole
I
South?
didn't prepare Ray for that, right? I just walked into the room where he is, and
Yeah,
looking
you
back,
didn't prepare him.
no, I
You
did
just
not.
told the
Okay.
story for him.
But you said the beach, which was,
Well, we're at the beach.
no, it was technically, it was Nahat. It was 40
Okay,
steps.
so but the
It
beach
was
was
on the,
over the dirt,
we were
over the
parking,
sand.
we were parking in the Nahat
Yeah, and we were
back there.
kissing,
Yeah, exactly.
and the car
Oh,
flashed his
you were
lighter.
parked in the car?
Wait, y'all were parked?
They were
They
parked
were
in the
Yeah.
car.
parked in the
They was
car?
parked in the car.
See,
We were
see,
parked in
Ray's
the
Yeah.
car,
telling the actual
and
story.
we were
And they came
kissing,
from the bar.
and the cop shined the light
Yeah.
right to the came
Ask for our licenses.
and asked for my license. I'm in the passenger side, and I'm in a 300ZX2, right? I don't know why he asked me for
In the
my
car.
Oh,
license.
Cindy!
All up
I
in the
knew I
car.
liked you. We got
Okay,
we
He had
have
a
the same
fancy
taste. Let's
car.
go.
and he literally said he treated Ray like shit because when Ray showed
Oh,
his
he saw my
license,
address. Yeah.
he saw his address, saw where he lived in Revere, and said, "Does your daddy know that you're with this boy right now?" I'm like, "Yeah, my dad knows that I'm with this boy right now." He was
He said,
not
"Did
very
your
nice to
daddy
Ray.
know? Did your daddy know he was in a you was in a car with him?"
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Piff.
Okay. So the point is, we're both white, right?
What if it had been a black guy? What would have
Oh,
happened?
that I don't
They
know
would
He'd
have
because
get
shot
Ray,
Ray.
he'd
They would
get
have shot.
pulled
Ray
out.
was
They would have shot
Ray's not.
Ray and grabbed
My
Cindy
point
out.
was, that we're just two white young people, and it happened to us.
Listen,
Now,
ain't
Ray,
no Emmett
I
Till
never,
situation ever happened out
I
there.
never asked Ray this question. I'm going to ask him now because I think we are just happy to get the hell out of there,
Yeah. He just
right?
let us go. Yeah. Let us get
And
out.
but today, when you look back on that, how do you feel about that?
If I think of it
Did he
now,
get
yeah, he's
castrated?
totally
Cindy,
dis.
Why don't you let him answer? You fuck up shit, bro. We listening.
Go ahead. I'm asking
No,
Ray
he
for the
no,
first time ever.
no. He totally discriminated against me based on where I was from.
And when
He
you
was.
look back now,
Yes.
Ah,
did that bother you when you got home that night? I don't know. Did you think about it afterwards?
I kind of expected it, truthfully. Think about it. I'm with a pretty girl in a brand new car in the hot. His cops are pulling us over. Like, well, what are you doing here?
We weren't doing anything. We didn't
No,
pull us over. We're parked.
I know. I guess I just felt fortunate they didn't do, like pull me out of the car.
When you got home that night, you're 20 years old, 19,
Yeah,
whatever.
like
Okay.
20. Yeah,
All right. So what did you feel anything? Did you think about it? Did
yeah.
you ever think about it again?
Maybe a little bit, but count my blessings that it didn't end badly.
Okay.
That's how I see it. Yeah.
That's a real story, Ray. I appreciate that, man. That's a real story.
Yeah, it is totally.
And you're honest
But
about it
here's
because
the difference.
they know. No,
I
Cindy,
went home and I told my
Hold on,
dad.
Cindy, you gotta let what Ray says breathe because Ray, like Ray said some real shit, and because I think a lot of people here could like empathize and relate to what Ray is saying because we've had those experiences, you know, and
Yeah.
so that's what I'm saying. Like you, what Ray just said, it wasn't very powerful to you at all. Okay. But what he said, I mean, what did I mean, guys? I mean, when you guys said he thought about it, he counted his blessings. He's just lucky to get out of there. He felt, he knew that why it happened, but he knew, but he was lucky to get out of there. He counted his blessings. I can
That's
empathize with that,
that's
and I can
no.
relate to that. You just heard him tell a story. To me, I'm like, wow.
That's
And,
not
and then
true.
and to know
I
that
felt
someone like Ray,
exactly what
and
you're
to know that
saying.
Ray experienced the same thing that I experienced. You know, that's what I'm trying to say, Cindy. You can you I don't think you're ever going to be able to relate to what Ray just said.
I
Uh,
can't relate to how he felt.
yeah, that's
But
what I'm talking
see,
about. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
when I
Yeah,
went home and told my dad what happened, then my dad, the type of guy that my dad was, on many occasions, took matters into his own hands. Right. So again, it bothered me at that moment. I just didn't question Ray. Did that just bother you? I think we just wanted to get the hell out of there. But me being so empathetic about everything, it bothered me. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
gotcha, right? So Ray will tell you that is not the first time that I would have went home and said to my dad, "We got a problem," right?
Oh yeah, Bobby, legendary Bobby Leonard took care of business.
Okay. So how about when we're coming out of a nightclub and we're all jumped by a bunch of Irish guys?
No, you got
I
strong
keep saying
nationality.
Irish.
Yeah,
You keep
Italians.
thinking they're Italians, and they weren't, Ray.
North End kids, Cindy. They're
They
from the
were
North End.
not
Yes,
North
they
End
were.
kids. My father went
One,
to the club and took care of it again.
they're Italians. 100%. Yes.
Not
But we
Italians.
we we got jumped,
Name was
and
Italian.
Yes, they
and
were Italians.
that wasn't pretty. We walked in my house. Ray's got blood everywhere. He can't fight 10 kids at once.
They were Italians. If Ray got jumped, he know who the fuck jumped him. you,
Thank you.
right,
Thank
Ray?
you.
You
Yeah,
know who jumped you.
I,
You know
if,
who
if,
jumped him.
Unfortunately,
I got a couple of gold
unfortunately,
chains from fighting
he
those guys.
knows that my father went right to that nightclub when we pulled into that house. He
Yeah.
said, "I'm going," and he went, did what he needed to do, and round up
Mm.
those kids. I
I,
mean, that Ray had one guy with him,
I had no. Actually, if you remember, the
i-
cop. There was a cop there that came over. I was on top of one
and the
kid.
cop
I
grabbed
was getting
you.
hit by like three guys behind me. I was on top of one guy, and the cop literally pulled my long hair and pulled my hair so hard he tore my scalp when he pulled me off the kid.
Holy shit.
He tore my
Hmm.
hair like
Damn.
he tore the back of my head like he pulled it so hard that my hair came out with it was like a patch pulled off the from I had like a blood from the back of my head from the cop ripping my head off the kid.
And
yeah,
you
Cindy,
know,
I will lift. Cindy, I'm
But
sorry, Cindy. I will lift your ass alone. You're too much trouble.
Good times.
I mean, you wouldn't
this
experience that
this
anyway
was
because you can't grow no
all
hair.
and wait, hold on, Jonathan.
Like,
This was
I've
all
always.
this was because I was on the dance floor dancing with my girlfriend, and the guy came over, and
You got handsy with her.
Ray said she's with me, and that's all he said. And I left the dance floor, and they waited, and they ganged up, and
Yeah, I thought I was
my
going outside.
girlfriend was on one of the
No, I
guy's
thought I was
back.
going outside to fight one guy, and I turned around. There was four behind them, following me outside.
We knew. I mean,
Yeah,
Ray, all you just said was just she's with me,
that's
and
it. She's with me.
yeah, yeah, guys. That's the one
Mm-mm-mm.
time. That's the closest I ever came to getting killed.
It's like
Uh,
women put
when
men
I
in
when
situations.
some guys would mess with some
I was
girls.
not flirting with the guy, and Ray
No,
will
no,
tell
no,
you that.
no,
no. I
definitely
know
not.
you weren't flirting. When like the girls just sitting in a pizza parlor and the guy kept flirting with her, and I like and they weren't even my girlfriends. I just knew them. I just said leave them alone. They don't want to be bothered. And he started yelling, talking, and then him and I got into it, and then I left it alone. And like I don't know, maybe I forget how 3, 4, 5 days later, whatever it was, he had brought someone down to kill me. But that's crazy that you go through shit like that, and you like in those moments you don't know it's going to lead to something bigger.
Yeah, it
Mike,
could
y'all
have gone
can't
so bad.
fight.
And Ray could fight, but you can't.
Nah, I'm playing, I'm playing, I'm playing, I'm playing, I'm
I'm
playing,
about
I'm
to say,
playing.
Tiff, you
Yeah,
in that
Two
situation?
guys can't fight 10 guys. It's impossible. It's literally impossible,
Yeah, we
right?
yeah.
do. We in the South.
No, we don't.
We carry
I
40 cal.
my girlfriend's on one of the guys' back, grabbing him by the neck. I got one guy, and then Ray screamed, "Go get the car!" And then I got the car, and we jumped in. They jumped in. Somehow they got in the car fast enough.
We pulled away in her mom's Mercedes.
A big. I was
In
gonna
her
run them.
mom's
I didn't care.
Mercedes.
I was gonna run them over. I didn't care. I was gonna literally run them over, so it didn't matter, right? So it was a big 400 SEL or whatever it was back in the
The
day.
big blue four-door Suburban.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we got home, and I'll never forget. I went to my parents' bedroom. They were sleeping. I said, "Dad, Dad," and my mom goes, "What's wrong?" And my father goes, "Everything's fine." Said to my mother, "Everything's fine, Beverly." Just so she stayed in bed because he knows if I'm coming in his room going, "Dad, Dad, I need you to come out." He
Something's wrong.
walked out, and Ray is fucking got blood everywhere. Right? He's like, "What the fuck happened to you?" And then he's like, "I'm gonna kick your ass when I get back for you letting those guys kick your ass. But right now, I got to go do what I got to do." And that's what happened. Did you go back after my
Yeah,
father?
that's when Bobby jumped in the car and
Yeah.
went down to that bar.
Went back to that nightclub. Exactly.
Did you
Yep.
bring your dad his car?
Kai, not car, Kai.
My mother's.
Yeah, it was her mother's car.
No, that came across my feed. Your dad was asking for his car. Did y'all bring
Oh
him his
yeah, I
car?
know, right?
Okay.
I don't get it. It went over
when
my
Bobby,
head.
when that video that I commented on, when Bobby, when I do like, the driver's like, I gotta go see your dad, and then Bobby called, and then he like, yeah, I want to go get my car, and then he's like, why don't we bring it to you? Remember that video that he
Oh,
posted?
yeah, he just posted that with Mike.
Oh, with Mike?
Yeah.
Oh, that guy was a cuckoo guy. He was a very crazy guy back in the day.
Legendary Bobby
Oh, y'all
Kane.
forgot your dad's car.
We didn't forget. I don't know.
Kai.
We went and got the car, actually.
She talking about her leg cramped up.
My leg had such. Well, you've never had your foot cramp up in a car and all of a sudden it starts doing crazy ass shit.
You need some electrolytes.
I got about 30 messages that said that. Drink more water, Cindy. Drink more water.
Hey, Cindy. Hey, Cindy.
But Victor, how are you, honey?
Hey, what's up? You guys made me think of a TV show, My Mother the Car. When you said My Mother's Car, there was a show called My Mother the Car. You
I
might be
never
too young
saw
for
that.
that one.
Stop showing your age, Vic.
I can't help it.
Like I said, we've all have been through something. We've all been profiled, I guess, of some sort. My brother took a beating from a black cop, a beating at 18 years old, heading to a nightclub. And they pulled him out. They told him, Craig, remember, two black guys did this to you. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Beaten up to a point where his polo shirt was full of all red blood. I'll never forget that.
And,
Then my
and they
father
told him
said
that?
they put him in the bed. First of all, an ambulance pulled up and they told the ambulance, whatever, get out, go away. Somebody called for an ambulance, I guess. And his friends were in other cars, but he got stuck at the red light. They thought he was supposedly the black cop said, you know, they thought he was a drug dealer in a fancy car, and another 300ZX, by the way, and pulled him out of not pulled him out of the car. And my brother at this point, he's huge, meaning muscle head, and pulled him through a little window, hit him in the back of the head with a gun, and beat the shit out of him. Then when they put him in the cruiser, they said two black guys did this to you, right, Craig? And Craig went, yeah, two black guys did this to me. Then we got to the hospital, and my father walked in and said, what happened? And my brother said, because the cop was in there, he said exactly what the cop told him to say. Then my father said to the cop, get the fuck out of the room right now. And my father said to my brother, what really happened, Craig? He goes, he beat the fuck out of me. He said, okay, that's all I need to know. My father walked out and said, take your fucking badge off right now. You think you're a tough guy? Take your badge off. We'll take this outside right now. Cop didn't take his badge off. So I'm just telling you, like, he was an MBT. What do they call it? MBTA?
DC.
Not MDC cop.
State Trooper?
No, the same cops that are down the beach.
MDC.
MDC.
Metro,
MDC.
Metropolitan District.
So now you got a black cop, and he went right up the ranks, by the way, right up the ranks. But he did it. He got away with it. But that's it. It is what it is. Was my brother a drug dealer? Far from it. Was heading to the nightclubs. It was like 10, 11 o'clock at night. That's the time you go out around here. Back in those days, and he took he took a beating. Then goes and becomes a cop. Go figure that one out. But I wasn't afraid afterwards of black cops. So that's kind of weird, right? That maybe I should have been afraid after that, but I wasn't. I don't know why.
Because your father told him to take the badge off, and he's like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, I was right there. I was
That's
right
why.
there in the emergency room. I was right there. Yeah, he
Uh,
did.
yeah.
Told him to step outside, take your fucking badge off. Yeah, he did say that to him. And he said, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Hey, Ray, I got a question for you, Ray.
Oh, yeah, shoot.
How do you feel about the Homeland Security Department allowing a television producer to do a television show, okay, where they have migrants competing for a
Have you heard
citizenship?
about this?
Competing
and
for what?
Yeah, he
uh,
hasn't heard about this either, but go ahead.
okay, they have migrants competing for citizenship. Okay, and if you win, you get a United States citizenship. If you lose, you get deported. You get deported right away. How do you feel about that?
How do they compete? Arm wrestling? Like what? How are they
No,
competing?
just I don't know what it is. I wish what you call it. Anyone else knows the particulars? Because I know Patty know a lot of
I want
particulars.
to. My answer was what a classless show and what has
That's
America
terrible
become.
if that's true, but I don't know. I like to see the details of that. That's
Yeah, it's a
awful.
real show. All I did is Google it. People are googling it right now. It's all over. New York Times, Washington Post, everywhere. Everyone's
And
talking
what
about it.
network is picking this up, by the way?
It's that's not right now. It's the Homeland Security that is ready. That is going over everything, and the producer that does what's the name of that show, guys? Who else they produce? What shows they produce?
They
It's
they
always
produce the fake news show.
Was
No,
it
no, stop. No, let's no. You guys can't do that because it's real news. Don't let's not do
okay.
that.
First of all, it's not a producer; it's a production company that
Yeah, production
sells.
company. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm
Okay,
trying to find out the show it is that they produce. There's a whole
so
bunch. Here,
who's the production company? Does
let
it
me
say
find out
that?
right now. Because
Survivor or Amazing Race?
no, it's
They're the ones that do Duck Dynasty. They're the ones that
yeah, Duck
do
Dynasty.
Millionaire Matchmaker.
Yeah, so why
But
you call it fake news? Why don't you say
okay, but
that's
You
who's the
said what?
who's? I just asked who's the production company.
she just told you, Duck
No, you gave
Dynasty.
me the shows that they some of the shows they produced, but what? Who's the production company? That's
Let's
what I
see.
want to know.
I'm pulling it up again.
I don't know how you grant citizenship to somebody what wins a cage match. Okay, you become a citizen. Here's your papers. Is
My
that how that
attitude is
works?
how classless. How are we going?
I look if that's true. I mean, it's terrible, but I'd like to know what the details are before it just that doesn't seem plausible.
Do they say what they're going to compete on? Who's a better worker? What? Who can fight better? Like what is the theme for the show?
I think one of the things was that they were going to be sent to go find gold.
What?
Okay.
And what? If you find some gold, you come back, we'll give you citizenship papers.
I think they're trolling, Ray. This is
That's a
something that has
They're
been
not
pitched.
trolling,
Oh
guys.
my
Come on,
God, this is
If you
something.
tell
It's
me,
a little sketchy.
Jonathan, if you tell me the production company, I know a lot of the production companies. If you tell me the name of the production company, just tell me the name. I was with Endemol, right? There's McGilla that sells a ton of it, which was the partner from my production company. Then you got Highway 84 Production. These are your biggest ones that sell reality. The ones I'm naming you right now.
Y'all said something about the immigration stuff. That
It's
Yeah.
Gurney
reality TV.
Productions.
Who's the production
Gurney
company?
Gurney Productions.
I just put a link in the chat, Jonathan. That's
Bernie
wow.
Productions.
Yeah,
Now Google if it's Bernie Productions, Jonathan.
Gurney.
Google. Was it?
Gurney Gurney.
Okay. Now Google how many shows they have on air right now.
some pretty big ones already.
Like who?
Duck
Duck,
Dynasty,
yeah, Duck Dynasty is pretty big.
Yeah. Okay.
uh, Duck Dynasty, The Biggest Loser.
The Biggest Loser. That's not on air anymore. That only went 2 seasons. Go
That
ahead.
went no, that went like 8 seasons, Cindy.
They had 8 seasons on that one. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, with the fat people to get
Yes,
sued.
yes, yes.
Okay. I'll ask Christy. Yeah, what you said. Just ask Christy Nome if it's true. That's a good idea. I will. Thank you, Ray.
Yeah, and you
Some
know what else? They said that she knows about it. They said she's entertaining it. They said all kinds of things.
I'll get the
Fake
Okay.
news.
Okay, Diana. They actually have zero productions on
You
TV right
guys
now.
did.
They have zero production, so
Yeah.
they're trying to bring themselves back alive. Okay, and if they don't bring themselves back alive, their production company is worthless.
But
If they've
Cindy,
got
they
no
haven't
show,
just they have been trying to get this passed through even as back as
No,
the
no, no,
Obama
no.
administration.
Let,
They
let, let's
presented this with
send it.
Obama.
what now?
Look, guys. Look, let's be clear, guys. Let's just give people real news
Is
for a
that
change.
racist? Because I want watermelon.
Not
Yes, Ray, I
because
want watermelon.
yeah, this is real. Okay, the Trump administration is the first administration that's going to consider it and consider it and review it. So let's just be real here, guys. Let's not spin this. Let's just give people some real news from it once. Let's not give them like biased news. It's real.
Okay, I'll find out about it. I'll do my research on it Monday.
You know what's
John,
weird, Jonathan, is that DHS says that they receive hundreds of television show pitches a year. That's crazy. I would have never known this if you hadn't brought it up
Michelle,
today.
what's the number that's pitched?
They say they receive hundreds of pitches on a yearly basis.
But they're
Really?
reviewing this one.
Okay.
Yeah, they
Ju-
definitely they're reviewing this one, and they're looking. Look, they say the TV pitch where immigrants would compete for American citizenship, according to the sponsorship, who said in a statement to
When,
CNN.
Michelle, when did they start to discuss this? And have they done a trailer or a teaser of any sort?
Mm,
They have a woman. That woman. What's that woman that show she's from? That's going to be the.
Again, it's a question. Is there a trailer or a teaser on this at all?
No,
uh,
remember this administration just got in, Cindy.
yeah,
But
yeah,
okay, how
How are
no,
long
you
have
tying it to the administration
how
though? That's
long have they
weird.
been,
because they have
Crystal?
to approve it, Diana.
I
Hold
know,
on.
but
Just
what
so
we're
it's just
So this production company, let me just hear me out. This production company just decided in the last 100 something days, let's put out a TV show, a reality show like this. And you think that that's how fast? It don't work that way.
No, so because they've done it, they do it annually to them. He pitched it as far back as President Obama's administration.
Okay,
He
thank
said he
you.
had 3 conversations with
Okay.
the current DHS. So currently with um, Christy Noem's group, he's been in conversations with them. He's had three
well listen
conversations so far.
and listen to this one during the Biden administration. So I guess the guy's called Warsaw pitched the show again during President Joe Biden's administration, specifically under DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. He noted a very positive response from DHS, but the project stalled due to Mayorkas impeachment proceedings in 2024. No specific date with Biden's term is provided, but talks occurred before 2025.
Yep.
So
So he's
to
been doing it across administration,
You
starting with
just
Obama.
negated the point, though. Like he couldn't get it
How?
done during the Democratic administration, but he can get it done during a Trump
Oh
administration.
shit.
So yeah,
I'm bringing
if
up
he
Christy
tried and it
Nolan.
didn't happen,
But nobody, that's
and
the
it
thing, chat, is that
happened under
they
Trump's administration, what does that
no,
tell you?
but that's the thing is
Administration
nothing
matters.
has happened.
wait,
Nothing
and it
has
never got
happened
out.
during the Trump
Wait, hold
administration.
on, Jonathan. This is how bad
Right,
my phone is.
Jonathan.
I almost sent it to I
Yeah, I want
almost
to
sent it.
just
I almost
Christy.
sent it to Christy. But no, but I almost sent it to chat by accident. The way I got
Yeah.
things logged into my phone, it almost went to chat. But oh god, no,
Yeah,
wrong
but yeah,
person.
so yeah, they are, but that it never went public because they never got anywhere with it. Okay, they never had to get the public ready for it. This is the first time. That's the crazy part, guys. Let's why can't we just? It's a simple story. It's not even a big. It's not even a big story. It's like one of those wild stories. Like, okay, how would this play out? We can't even have fun with the story because all of a sudden it's a political thing. Like, all right, whatever. But it didn't. You didn't hear about it on the Obama because they didn't get nowhere. You didn't hear about it on the Biden because they didn't get anywhere. The
to me, it
Jonathan, you
sounds
are
like they're
hilarious. What'd you say, Joseph?
to me, it sounds like they have been shopping this for years and they're kind of putting it out there to try to generate interest in the show. Like it seems kind of like a little bit of a PR stunt from the production company. Not to say
Thank
it's not going to get
you.
made, but that is kind of what it seems like to me.
No,
That
we cannot have
that's what
fun talking
JB just
about
said.
this, but we cannot have fun talking about this when you tie it to Trump, because that's how the story started, making it sound like the current administration was the one even, pushing for something like this. Because when you report it, everybody goes wild with their interpretation of it. And I think it's very relevant if this is something that was proposed to DHS in the past, and they're saying that it wasn't realized because of an impeachment and prior in Obama's administration, it looks like they also said that they responded positively. So we're just assuming that this is something horrible that's coming out of the Trump administration. And it's that conversation that I want to have, not just telling me that I'm A, B, and C, because I'm open to having that conversation and not just blaming everything on freaking Trump.
Who assumed that though? Did
You
somebody make that
Mexicans are so
assumption?
Oh, you
sensitive.
were here in the morning. You were here.
Yeah,
You should have been here in the morning. It was
you,
crazy.
it's just crazy, Diana. You Mexicans are sensitive as hell. We that's not what I'm trying to do.
Can you
That's
imagine
not
if I
what
were to sit here and talk to you about being black? Come on now. Don't make me go there. I'm going to need security.
Do you guys all know you're so hypersensitive to everything?
Tell them, Cindy.
You are
me.
too, Cindy.
I just want to know
She talking about
I
you,
just want to
Diana.
know how do
She,
you all get through your day with
she talking about you,
But
Diana,
realizing
because
Cindy,
I'm
you are
joking
too,
around.
especially when
I
you're
throw
going off.
down,
You are
Cindy.
too.
where am I hypersensitive?
Always, Cindy.
Cindy, you a little
Yeah,
bit
Don't act like
well
that,
sensitive.
hold
Cindy.
on. I'm hypersensitive on real shit, like family shit, like friendship shit, like work shit. I'm
Like
not
your
hypersensitive.
business,
Yeah, of
right?
course, my
Hmm.
business, real shit, not things I can't control, guys. Thank you.
Cindy, you know
Yeah,
Ralph
so if somebody
Tresvant?
attacks your business, then and you
No,
stand up for it, how is that sensitive?
I'm not. I'm not being hypersensitive about that. I'm coming after your neck on that one.
Exactly.
Hypersensitive.
But that's still
Hypersensitive
being
is when
sensitive,
if you're.
emotional.
Yeah, well, I'm an emotional person to begin with, so we all know that. And I'm
Cindy,
gonna
you know
be.
Ralph
I'm gonna
Tresvant?
defend you, and I'm gonna have your back. And I'm never not gonna have your back. By the way, Chad, I sent you a text yesterday. But again, that's just me. Some people don't have a heart. Let me never tell you. Some people have ice in their veins.
Cindy, you heard of
Doesn't
Ralph Tresvant? He
who?
was in New Edition.
I knew Victor had to come up with a
He
song.
said you need a man with sensitivity.
Vic has a song for everything, but we really do.
Oh,
He
Vic,
But you
has a
come
guys
on.
song
are
for
real.
everything. He's the
You
chatter
all get
soundtrack.
you get so hypersensitive on every little thing where you think we're going to change anything and we can't. So debate the news, but act like adults. Stop getting so.
But like if people, I think like we should be able to debate. I think
But there's
sometimes it
debating
goes
like
too
adults and
low
there's
when
debating
people make it
like idiots.
personal.
I think Grant said earlier, you guys can't debate like adults.
That's my point. I'm saying
Coming
it's
from
not
Grant,
yeah, coming from Grant, that's crazy.
come on now. That 5 year old.
But like I was actually, on the debate team at the Texas Southern University, number one debate team in the country. Period. Point blank.
I
Right?
want proof of that. I'm
You want
playing.
proof? You want
I'm
proof? Oh,
playing.
I'm in the African American museum.
Okay. You
Me
know I'm
too,
Well,
you,
chat. Me too.
why aren't you in a
No,
regular
but it's true,
museum?
Cindy.
No, why aren't you in the regular museum? How come you have to be like in the
in the
African
black
American?
one.
You must not been no good. You must not been any good.
Shut up, because the white museum did not talk about HBCUs, and Dr. Freeman was being had a tribute. This is my debate coach, and we beat Harvard. We've always beat Harvard
Didn't
though.
they base the great debate on
On
him and TSU chat?
hmm
Yeah, there you have it. Yeah, they beat Harvard.
Rochelle, you beat anybody in a debate.
It is what it is, Cindy.
You could, because you know why? The other person's gonna fold because they get a headache.
Listen, Cindy,
I'm dead. I'm
you're the
dead.
thug,
I would
Cindy.
throw the towel in because I get a headache. So
Cindy, stop it. You know you wouldn't.
I would be like, okay, Rochelle, I love you. Here you go, honey. You won. Then when you don't see me coming, I'm coming at you with a haymaker. No,
Cause you a thug.
mm, that's right. And
That's
you're
because she always ready
and
to fight.
Cause baby, I'm a
you're an
thug.
angry bird. That's the best one.
Cindy, stay
Nelson gave
ready.
you the best one. I'm sorry, but that's the best one. That is the best.
But yours is on point. Your father agrees with me. Hello.
You know what? I'm never sharing another video with you.
Yeah, you when you shared that, you were done. Your dad is literally saying, "Yeah, yeah, Rochelle, she's a thug."
No, I think you
Thank
got
you.
it. Wait a minute, hold on. You got it the second time with with my mom and dad the other day on Facetime.
Oh yeah. Well, your dad still agreed, but your mom said you were somewhat of a thug. Cindy, don't play. Didn't your mama say that?
Yeah.
Okay, there you have it.
And
The
then when my
first
dad said,
time, the first time she was like, "No, she's not a thug." I'm like, "Yeah, she is."
and then what my father say, she's
He said,
definitely.
"You're definitely Rochelle. She's definitely a thug." I'm like, "I know she a thug."
And
And
we
then I
love
said,
it.
what? Dad, are you a thug?
Cindy jump out cars while they're moving to go and yank people out of their vehicles, y'all.
Don't give me the finger. What do you give me the finger for? People, people are crazy.
And what about that woman you Heimlich in the bathroom at the restaurant recently? Cindy, you stay fighting.
There's an old saying: you can take the girl out of Revere. I'm sorry that they took me out at 13. They should have taken me out when I was like 4. Go and take a girl out of Revere and stick her in a rich community. What do you fucking lose your mind? Dad, I'm not. These kids are weird, and I was weird to them.
Don't be acting like you grew up tough.
What's up?
Said don't be acting like you grew up tough.
Oh, very tough. Extremely tough. You kidding me? What, just because they moved me to a rich community, you think you change who you are?
How
And then you're going
how many
back to your
times have you
grandparents' house every
slammed?
weekend? How do you think I met Ray? Because I was back in Revere, my grandparents. The kid with the long hair. Got his hair pulled out of his head. But then again, there is another story. I was with my girlfriends from Revere, and they all shoplifted, and I didn't. But we all got pulled in, right? So then we had to go in front of the judge. And they pulled me aside and they said, we're not going to put her in front of the judge. The judge is going to see her privately. And the judge asked me, why would you steal? I go, I didn't steal anything. There was nothing in my pocketbook. Well, why are you with girls that steal? I said, because they're my friends. He said, well, I have a better suggestion. I said, what's that, Your Honor? He said, you're not going back to Riviera. You're going to go where you live now, and you're not coming back around here, and you're not going to be stealing. I said, I didn't steal. He said, did you hear what I just said? I said, yes, I heard what you said. My mother goes, shut up. She won't be coming back into the city again. I didn't steal. But he judged me and gave me that break from where I lived. And that was not fair, if you really think about it. But I didn't steal anything.
So you snitched, Cindy.
No, I didn't snitch at all.
Yes, you
I was
did.
going, no, I
You
was
supposed to
going
keep your
down.
mouth shut.
You
No, I was,
told him that
no,
you didn't steal
no, I
Yeah,
was
you
anything.
said
going,
I ain't taking
no,
anything. It was them,
no,
Your
no,
Honor.
no.
He's
When
like,
the
why you
cop,
hang out with girls?
no,
Because
no,
they're
no,
my
no.
friends. How do
When
you
the,
hang out with girls that steal?
no,
Because they're my friends. You said,
no, no. What happened was when the security called the police, I didn't rat anybody out. I went right with them in the cruiser. I didn't say a word because I know not to say a word. But then you get arrested and you have to be bailed out, and then you have a court hearing. And then the judge pulled me into his judge chamber, and whatever it's called, and he said, "I'm not going to put you out in front of everybody. I just basically because where I live now. Do you know what I'm saying? So if I had
but
still
Cindy,
lived in
if
that
you
city,
should
I
have
would
did
have been
two to
treated
five,
differently.
Cindy. Cindy,
Was
you should
that?
have did. You should stay quiet. Did your 2 to 5 like a
Yeah,
trooper.
for a fucking shirt that they all stole. Like, really, guys? Like, and the only reason, and we all had money on it. It's like, oh, guys, did you really fucking have to do this? And they're like, yeah, we just want to see if we got away with them. Like, oh, fucking great. And we're in fucking cruisers. This is, and one of them punched the cop, which didn't help either, by the way. Jumped on the cop's back. Oh God,
Y'all assaulted a police officer.
I didn't. She did
You're an accomplice. What are you talking about?
exactly. Then I wasn't allowed to go back for a bit.
So you can go back to that city?
My father said, "You're going to make friends here." I go, "No, I'm not." Yes, you are. Okay, I did. That didn't work out too well. Stayed for one
JB,
party on a weekend.
she straight snitched. She knows she
Never.
did it.
Not the world I come from. You do that.
Did they do any time?
No, they all got whatever. We were all 16, 17. We all had our licenses. So whatever. No, no one did any time.
So somebody got away with punching the
But
cop?
they all got probation. My daughter had to do she oh God, only Sammy, this only shit only happens to her. Oh God. She had to do like, I don't know, we had to go to 12 classes because she goes with her boyfriend to some place that she's going to the mall. She thinks he's driving to the mall, makes a stop. And he was selling pot on, I don't know, that stupid site back in, when she was 18. And he told her to go into McDonald's and get food. She did. When she went to the bathroom first, the cops came in, pulled a gun right out on her, right on her. I couldn't find my daughter. I was losing my mind. Let's not go
What
there.
site? We don't know about any criminal activity.
No, he was being monitored on what was that? Craigslist. Craigslist. That's what the app was. But they took her in.
Craigslist.
Yep.
Oh, he's asking to get caught.
Well, she's now 38. That's 20 years ago, right? But needless to say, They said you can make a phone call. She goes, I'm afraid to call my mother. So she didn't call me, and I'm looking for my own daughter that's supposed to be leaving to go back to school in Florida the next day. And the mother and father of the kid knows where they are and is not telling me as I'm calling them. Where is my daughter? We don't know. What do you mean you don't know? They've been missing for 3 hours. What do you mean you don't know? Find your son. My daughter's not answering her phone. And then they finally told me like an hour later after I called like 20 times. I said, what?
What happened when you got there, Cindy?
I called the police department first. I said, do you have a Samantha Stumpo there? Yes. Do you have her in a jail cell right now? No. Where is she? She's in a room. I'm on my way. I had to go to Framingham, Massachusetts. It was like 40 minutes up the street. I said, why didn't you call me? I was afraid to. I said, what happened? She told me. We got in front of the judge. They got in trouble. Sam didn't have any drugs on her. And the judge believed her. And he said, okay. But actually, I think she went to a private chamber too, to be perfectly honest. But she had to do 12 AANA meetings. That's what he made her do. The other kids, her boyfriend and the other kid got in trouble. And I guess the kid buying it. But needless to say, that kid was gone. See ya. Don't come around here anymore.
Oh, you said she couldn't see him anymore?
Uh-huh. And when you do that, you know what they want to do? They want to see them even more, right?
You know, she went right. I just gonna say that. You know, damn
Yep.
well.
And then 2 weeks later, she figured out she doesn't want to see him anymore. So it all worked out fine.
Probably because he got arrested and locked up.
No, it wasn't that. He was trying to control her and whatever. And she literally took her side of her feet and threw him out of the car. And that was the end. Then I stepped in. Hey, you got to do what you got to do. Kids are stupid.
Oh, we know y'all out there hitting peace officers. We all know that.
We could all write a book.
I'm writing one right now on AI.
Mine would be a bestseller, though, Jeff.
Yeah, well, you challenging me? You challenging me, Cindy? I could
All
do
day
that.
long. All day
All
long.
right, I'll go make it a bestseller. I'll
Go
be right
ahead.
back.
I'll come after you.
Let's go.
What's your book gonna be on?
Yeah,
Who's
guys.
mine?
So
I'm not writing the book.
Carlos, you in Georgia?
That's about Jeff, but okay.
Georgia, no, I'm not in Georgia. I
So you
should be.
remember?
My algorithm keeps putting me in contact with all you Georgia people.
So you remember where that officer in Cobb County told that white girl when she said to him, I'm afraid because of you pulling me over," and the cop told her, "Why you are scared? You're not black." Remember that story?
No, I'm not in Georgia.
Why you guys live there?
It's a beautiful city, but just that we got some situations happening.
Well, then get the
He
fuck out of
trying to
there.
place me in Georgia
Why don't you come up north here?
I
I
tried.
because
live.
we like
It's
dealing with a real
cold.
America. That's why.
Well, if I'm somewhere I'm not supposed to
Oh yeah,
be,
tell
I'm not gonna live there.
tell Ray we apologize for the Celtics. I heard they got beat bad last night.
Oh, that wasn't bad. That was a shellacking. That was embarrassing.
you're not going anywhere because Jason Teller's hurt. He's out.
He's out for a year and a half. That's what they're
Yeah,
saying right now.
that was horrible,
I
bro.
have to
To say
remember.
no mix.
I have to sign NDAs. But you're looking at about a year and a half right now.
For the Killers, yeah. What do you mean you got to sign an NDA on that?
Dude, what do I do for a living?
Well, we all
Thank
know he's
you.
gonna be out for over a year.
Cindy really knows.
That's not top secret, Cindy. Tell me about the UFOs. That's what I want to hear about.
When you sell and you have to go back into those homes, you sign an NDA, period. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I understand it. I gotta get the check, cause Don got me cracking up over here.
And then they put all the other bums out on for the last, quarter, right? They didn't want any more of their guys getting hurt. Those guys, those guys that are making $200,000 a year. I don't even think they should be making $200,000 a year. They should be playing for free.
The game before that, those guys were doing good. The Celtics did real good prior to that.
But the truth is, Jay, they played better through the playoffs. They played better and they won. Good for them.
Yeah, this is history. I'm a Knicks fan, and so if they go to the finals, listen, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah. Do you
I'm
think
Damn
you can?
serious.
straight,
Do you
baby. New
think?
York in the house.
Do you think that you can beat Indiana?
I don't
Hell
know. It's gonna
yeah.
be
Fuck
tough. We can
Indiana.
beat them, but it's gonna be tough. Indiana's gonna be tough. I'll tell you
I
that.
think so. And I don't even like sports.
What's up, Tiff?
For every one player they got, we got two. We ready for that.
Man, anybody playing New York, all they gotta do is have posters of Akeem Olajuwon dominating Patrick Ewing. No said.
We're not talking about the Rockets right now.
Lewis, I could get you going right now, but I'm not going to do it. But Nelson and I had a conversation about
Oh
this. We
yeah.
were laughing. I could really shake you up right now if I wanted to.
Turn it up, baby. Turn it up.
You ready?
Let's go.
Okay. Ready? You sure?
Hell yeah, let's go.
You do a girl's job.
That's okay, baby.
But you're not
Listen,
asking me. You're not asking me why I think you do a girl's job, a woman's job.
nah, I ain't tripping about it either. I'd rather do a job where I'm surrounded by women. I don't like to be like Nelson, surrounded by men. You know what I'm saying?
But you still do a woman's job in my eyes. Now you have to ask
That's
me
a huge
why.
compliment, though. That is a huge compliment.
But you have to really ask me why my brain thinks like that.
Why your brain thinks like that, Cindy?
Because 37 years ago it was only like brokers were, housewives and they could be selling real estate. The kids are in school. They could do, work on the weekends. The husband was home. It was more a woman's job. So the first time I saw a male broker, I went, dude, shouldn't you be doing what I'm doing and I should be doing what you're doing? Like it blew me away. I'm like, really? You're a broker? He's like, yeah, you got a problem with that, Miss Temple? I'm like, yeah, yeah, not really, but it's kind of like you're like a girl. That's what I said to him. This was like 20 years ago. But
So
that's how I saw it.
I would love to learn development. And that's part of the
Because
reason
I'm
why we
sitting
we got
there,
renovated our house.
under, understand this. I'm standing there in construction boots, right? And he's dressed in a suit and the whole 9 yards back then, right? So I was just kind of thought, like, you're a goofball. Like, you're really like, I'm supposed to be selling the real estate and you're supposed to have construction boots on. So I never lost that thought in my brain. Now there's a lot of, there's still more female brokers, but there's quite a few guys now. And I still torture them, by the way, every time. Especially Samantha's friends that are guys. I'm like, yeah, you guys are pussies. Yeah. Shouldn't you be doing what I'm doing? Yeah.
Building this house or putting this house together back from the studs, just learning all the intricate shit that you gotta buy as far as materials, as far as
I
supplies.
just
That's
want
what.
you to say, I feel bad for you, Cindy.
No, I'm inspired by you, Cindy.
Oh,
Like putting this house together, I'm like, God damn. And this house isn't even elaborate. It's not
well,
crazy.
you're really not smart now. Now you're a really dumb broker.
Talk to me. Why?
Because I could have got you all the products at a very big discount, and all you do is send me a text and say, Cindy, I need plumbing fixtures, I need this, I need that. Can you line me up? And I would have lined you up in 2 seconds. And you would have got 40, 45% off of all that shit that you paid. A little, maybe you got a little discount, maybe you didn't. Or you ran to Home Depot or Lowe's, I don't know what you did. But I would have got you product that was much nicer for the same price that you paid for the shit products you bought at Home Depot.
And you
And
see,
that's a fact.
and I just got your number yesterday or the day before. So
Well,
you fucking
that's even more dumb of you because there was many people you could have reached out on here and got my phone number and said, Cindy, I got to buy this, 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 this. It seems like it's adding up to a lot of money because I'm redoing my bathrooms and my kitchen and blah blah blah. Easy shit that I could get to you in a heartbeat, like easy shit that I could just have FedEx right to from my dealer right to you. So now you're a really, really, really dumb broker.
I agree, but I refuse to be dumb twice. How
Okay,
about that?
I like that. Now have
Was
you?
the best possible response a man has ever given. Ever.
That's a
Will
good
you give my
one.
husband lessons? That was brilliant.
I did it for somebody on here with Pella Windows back in the day with Clubhouse. I said, "Wait, pain? Yeah, that's not going to happen." So,
So do women
dumb, dumb,
belong in
dumb.
the kitchen and men belong outside?
Back in my day, when I saw the first time a male broker, I just fucking laughed. I didn't know what to do. I laughed. Like, I literally laughed. I'm like, dude, really? Like, this is what you do for a living? He's like, yeah. Why? Is that a
Mel, what?
problem?
A
I'm
Mel,
like,
what?
a male broker. When I first saw the first male broker,
What do you mean broker?
sales
Real estate
agent,
broker.
real estate broker.
Real
Oh,
estate.
real estate broker. Okay, yeah, okay,
I
got you,
think
got you.
Cindy's
Okay,
saying
all right,
that
okay.
real estate brokeraging is a
I'm
woman's job.
it was a woman's job, and I'm standing there in construction boots, and he's the salesman. Like I just laughed. I'm like, shouldn't you be wearing the construction boots, and I should be wearing the nice shoes?
But
I
men
even,
were real estate brokers long
I
before
even did
women
it with
were.
Ray like 13 years ago. We were both putting our, we're in the mudroom, and he's putting his shoes on, and we're sitting on the bench, and I'm tying up my construction boots. I go, do me a favor, put your feet out right now. Right? He goes, why? I go, just put your feet out. And I put my feet out. I took a picture and I go put it on Facebook. I go, what's wrong with this picture? Why is he going in his fancy shoes to work and I'm going in construction boots? It was quite funny the way I posted it, but he's going out in a suit and fancy shoes and I'm going out bundled up in construction boots. I thought it was funny.
But men were real estate brokers long before women were, Cindy.
No, they were not.
Yeah, they were.
No, they were not. It was
Yeah,
a
they were.
woman's job. That's why there's okay. Really?
Really.
Really?
Technically, men worked everything before women did
No,
because y'all didn't
don't
let
say
us
anything. Don't
work
say
for a
anything. Don't
long
say anything.
time.
I'm going to let her bury herself in that one. But go ahead.
Good, bury
I,
me on it because I had already been out there for 17 years and never had seen a male broker.
Yeah, but the National Association of Realtors were a group developed by purely men.
Okay, in what year?
I think that was in 19. Hold on, I'll get you the exact year.
Still a pussy job, but go ahead.
For like a freaking
I'm
100
not saying
years
that,
ago.
Cindy. I'm not disagreeing with you on that, but I'm just saying to you, men brokers were around much
Okay, well,
longer
that
than.
was the first one I had ever seen, and I fucking laughed. I'm like, this is fucking funny. I'm sorry, but dude, you're supposed to be wearing my boots. I'm supposed to be wearing your shoes. That's how I saw it. I'm supposed to look pretty and go sell homes, not be building them.
Yeah, there was a time in the military. Actually, when I was in the military, women couldn't be in combat roles. They only could be in support
Really?
roles. Hmm.
I can understand why that too.
And what they told us what they told us was that America doesn't want to see their daughters in body bags, and so that's why, or one of the reasons why women weren't allowed in combat roles. And I don't know, feminism bothers me. Sorry to all the feminists, but like Why y'all fighting to do what men do? I don't want to do what they do.
I don't blame you.
I don't want to fight
Feminism
men.
actually is a movement that started because women wanted equal, not so we could take over or be these huge, women are better thing. But feminism originally started because women just wanted equal rights, equal pay. That's it across the board, and then
Cindy,
it's developed into whatever the hell it is now. I don't even know
Right.
what
You guys
feminism
And we
is these
talk too
still
days.
don't
much
have
about
it.
it. I just went out and did it. But then again, you
Cindy,
use the word manifest and mindset and all those stupid words. But go ahead, Lewis.
yeah. The year was 1908. National Association of Realtors were developed in 1908.
Okay.
But
So today, is there still more male brokers or female brokers?
there's more female brokers
Oh,
or
okay.
more female real estate agents, not
Thank
just
you very
brokers
much.
specifically.
So I have every right to see you as a pussy, but it's okay.
It's all right. I love pussy.
I'm fucking with you. You know that, right? But I said that. I'm gonna really fuck with Lewis. He said, "How?" He told me, he goes, "Oh, you got to do that when I'm in the room." I was gonna do it in my business room to you, but I did it here instead.
It's all right. I was always taught by my mom, work smarter, not harder. So she said, if you went to school and did everything you
That's
did,
a fact.
if you went to school and did
Yeah.
everything you
Well, who do
did
you
and
think
ended up
makes
working
more
with your
money?
hands,
You think
no,
brokers make
you,
more?
nah,
Oh,
nah,
okay.
thousand
But
fucking
no,
percent.
they're actually when we were debating this, Nelson and I afterwards, because it started off as a joke, then we got into a debate. He's like, "Do you know this broker, and here?" No, I don't. I think he's in New York. Ma, he sells blah blah blah. Okay, all right. So he's a phenom, but the majority, like I said, I had never seen him yet. He was kind
What's
of
this?
douchey too. Actually, the male brokers are very pricky. They're little douches. They act like little pussies. They really do. I'm sorry, but they do. One
Just the
kid said,
ones from New
"Hey,
Have you
York,
ever had a
Cindy."
conversation with Luis off the app? Cindy, I gotta agree.
What, honey?
Have you ever had a conversation with Luis off the app? I have to agree.
No, but
No.
I finally texted with him.
Hey,
By the way,
Jonathan, it's just the
No.
ones from
Lewis,
New York, right?
Lewis, did you get accepted yet or not accepted yet?
Not accepted yet.
The fuck. She probably doesn't like black men. I don't know. Actually, she put a black emoji, so I'm telling you, she's black. She's not white, but whatever. We'll figure it out.
Was reposting a video of you earlier, Cindy, right before I came in here, and wrote like 30 minutes of me sitting here writing like nothing but just how much I appreciate you as a woman and whatnot, and then go to swipe away at a notification and erase the entire thing. But it's not a video on your page; it's a video that showed up on my feed. I was like, what? It's a day in the life of Cindy Stumpo, and it's a great video of you.
Thank you. I don't know which one you saw. There's been a few of those, but
I'll post the link over in the chat for you because yeah, because I went to go repost it on not Instagram, excuse me, on my LinkedIn, and I just was blown away by it. I love your openness and willingness to say I have an anxiety disorder and yet I still come to work and I kick ass every day. So can you?
oh, that's an older one wow, that one we came about. Okay. I think you saw the one when I'm outside, and I really said
You
something
telling
like,
the guy don't put my name in your mouth?
"Oh, that one, yeah." That imagine he catches that as I'm literally saying to a guy, another builder, "Don't ever put, yeah, keep my name out of your mouth." And he puts that in the video. I'm like, dude, did you have to put that in the video? People are gonna catch that, but you caught it. Yeah. I said to him, just keep my name out of your mouth, and we're good. That was another builder. I told you I do stupid, crazy things. I don't lie.
Not stupid at all.
You want to talk shit, and if you get bagged, then you're bagged, zipped, and locked. Don't talk about people you don't know. Period. Because I'm going to get your phone number.
I could just imagine what it would be like to be sitting at home having dinner with the family, and the phone rings, and it's Cindy Stumpo about to have your ass.
I mean, the kid that I did to on Instagram. That was great.
I didn't catch that one. I was
So
I remember one on Clubhouse where you called this guy who was ripping off this old lady that was a friend of yours, and she called you and was like, this guy's doing this, that, and you called, you're like,
no, I
do
didn't
you not
even
know who I
know.
am?
I didn't even know that lady. She reached out to me to ask if I could help her. I didn't know her.
Oh, I thought that was a friend. So you went that hard for
No,
a stranger?
I had
Dude.
no idea who she was. She said, I'm in trouble here and I don't know who to call. And that's how I took the phone call. And I said, okay, who's the guy? Maybe I know him, maybe I don't. She just happens to live where my office is in that city. So she reached out to me and she was an older woman. I'm like, why did you give him money? And and as you know, the story goes, I call the guy. Yeah, we did that
He
whole thing.
changed everything right then and there. I mean, literally scared. He did. He wasn't scared at first. At first, he was all about it. Oh, what? And then she's like, "This is Cindy Stumpo. I'll give
Who's
you a minute
talking?
to look it up if you need to." But and everything changed.
No, he goes, I
Who's
know you, I know who you are. I go, good. So now that's a good thing. Now, why are you fucking over, blah, blah, blah? And what kind of shit you pulling? That's what they do. They put these like letters
who's
in
talking
with
shit
people.
about Cindy now?
Hey,
No, that's on my Instagram. I love that. That's a sport for me. I love
yes,
when they
yes,
come at
yeah,
me.
Carlos. I got a question for you. Did you see that shit, Cindy? Did you guys see all those inmates from New Orleans escape from that jail, and they put two?
Yep, 11.
Yeah,
Well, no,
yo,
10.
Cindy,
10.
they wrote on the
You guys
wall.
all go to work. You have too much time on your hands. You like, how do you know everything that goes on in this goddamn country and outside this country all day, every day?
Listen, Cindy, that stuff comes up. It's like when you look at. I don't stroll through Instagram. I don't stroll through Facebook. I don't do any of that. I look at news. I just like I'll stroll through the news feed. That's what I do. How people are strolling, like when they have a couple minutes, I stroll through the news feed. That's just me. Okay. So like that's why you don't see me doing a lot of social media stuff because I don't stroll through it. But they Cindy, they
Well,
wrote
what are you
a
gonna do?
sign.
What are you gonna put selfies of yourself up there?
No, Cindy, right?
You talking about
Cindy,
the
Hold
too
on, hold on,
easy?
hold
yeah, too
on.
easy, Cindy.
Let's do a video of Jonathan
No,
writing a mortgage for somebody. That
no,
sounds really interesting to watch.
that doesn't sound interesting at all. That's what I'm saying. That's not interesting at all.
But you
You
could put
know.
selfies up,
Now you can tell people like, hey,
like all
that
the other guys do that look like idiots. That's another.
yeah,
You
That's
can
that's
make you
crazy.
can make mortgage
that's
brokering
another
fun
stupid
online.
thing, by the way, for all these guys that
You
put
know what?
themselves on
I
selfies. Like,
shared it. I shared an article. I don't think I put it in the main group. Man, UWM, Cindy, UWM has AIs, people or robots or chats or whatever, AI, whatever, calling back people when it's time to refinance. And I'm like shaking my head. I'm like, yo, the writing's on the wall. Like, right? And real estate agents are still damn crazy enough to believe that the writing isn't on the wall for them. And they got AI chat bots calling back people to get them to refinance, then it's over for those. It's like it's crazy. Real estate agents, you guys, it's gonna be a very few of you guys.
yeah, and guess
And
what? Car salesmen are doing the same thing right now, right? So
Cindy,
Ray's client.
Cindy,
No,
you're
listen,
right.
Ray's client. She's like 74 years old, whatever, and she did something the day before, and obviously she slept on it. And it's 7 o'clock in the morning. Ray's phone's ringing, and he answers it, and I hear him say, just like this, "What did you do now?" Just like that. What did you do now? Right? And I hear her, not because Ray had her on the speaker, but I'm laying right next to him. She's like, Raymond, I think I made a mistake. And he goes, okay, what did you do? She goes, well, the car salesman called me and said my lease is up in 6 months and the interest rate's going to be even higher. So you should come in right now. Let's put you in a new vehicle. But she doesn't realize the 6 months of payments are going into the new vehicle, right? And this is a bad move. Don't be doing this, right? And Ray's
They
going,
don't know that, Cindy. They don't
right,
know
they
that.
don't.
Just
And
I just had a situation where someone just got a new lease and they don't like it, and they're like, "Well, I can trade out of it." I was like, "All those other payments got to be paid. That's how a lease works."
correct. So I said, Ray, hold on. This is what to tell her to do. Because at this point now, my brain goes back into the automobile industry. And I said, tell her to go march in there right now. She's 70, whatever years old. She's an elderly person. And tell her to tell right now. And he goes, can you just talk to her? I'm like, yeah, put me on the phone. He said, to her. He said, "Look, I want you to talk to my fiance, Cindy." She goes, "Cindy, I watch everything on. I love." I said, "Okay, listen, let's not talk about that right now. You need to get showered, get dressed, go to the car dealership when it opens, and you want the paperwork torn up. You tell them that you are not going to do this deal, and they took full advantage of you. But what if they don't? Oh, they'll listen. Trust me. They will tear up the paperwork. They will void it, and you make sure you get it voided, and you make sure you email that to Ray. Okay?" She goes, "Okay," and she did by 10:15. She emailed it to Ray. But it was just funny how Ray answered the phone. What'd you do now? It's like not hello, not good morning. What'd you do now?
You
Yes,
got
and
to
then
break
you
it
don't
down for
know.
the room. Break it down
No,
for us,
so
y'all.
okay, what happened, guys, was they slammed her into a lease. Okay, all right, and when they slammed her into a lease, pretty much when you walk out with that lease, you're done. Okay, and what they did was roll. She had 6 more months payments left. They
So
rolled
they
those
roll it
payments
into the
and
new lease.
into the new lease. Okay, and so now
They're rolling the payments into the new lease. So let's say your payment's 300 a month. Times that by six, they're rolling that money into your new lease.
300. Yeah, yeah, that's yeah, right. Try like five,
Okay.
600.
It could be five, 600 too. You don't know the type of car. It depends on the type of car, right? But again, you are paying the last 6 months. Like you're not skating off it. They're just burying it into your new lease. But that's what they're doing right now. And they're trying to
So you're having to
intimidate
pay a
people.
double payment on that?
Yes, you are because they're
That's
burying the
bullshit. How's
six.
that legal?
People do it all the time. If you've got 3 months left on your lease and you go to lease a new vehicle, they just roll the last three
Yeah, if it's
payments
a better
into your lease.
deal or whatever, or you get a good deal on that. Yeah, that's what they're doing. But that people don't know
But
that
what
when
they're
you turn
doing
your
right
lease
now,
in
Jonathan, is
early.
they're intimidating people by saying, interest rates are going to keep going up higher. And
Hmm.
when your lease is due, you're going to spend more money and there's tariffs coming. So they're using all these intimidation tactics.
Sorry about
So
that.
what is the right thing to do? Wait for the
No,
6 months to be up and then go
no,
do what you got to
they
do.
got her. They got her. And so but all she had to do was go in there because
No,
she's elderly.
because
And she's going in because she's
Jonathan,
elderly. Yeah,
if
go ahead.
you know this better than anybody, if you buy a house from me and you want to get out of it, there's a certain period of time. I don't know what it is it's like a buyer's remorse type thing, right? What is it? After you sign the paperwork, if a person wants to get out of that mortgage, what do they have? 48 hours, 72 hours? What is it?
No, no, not with a mortgage. You do that in front of it. That's why you do it. That's why you sign off. And you,
So they can't come back and say, no, I have decided I'm not going to purchase this.
no, nope.
Yeah, there's some law here that protects buyers.
They do have that in Texas. I'm not sure what the time frame is, but I know they do
No,
have
no,
it.
no, 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 guys. See that's if you're with if you're doing a mortgage and that's why you have the attorney. You're all logged in. You're doing all that other stuff. You have attorneys there. You sign all that paperwork. Nah, that's something totally different. So, with other contracts, there is a buyer's remorse period.
3-day right of rescission.
That's what it is, Leah, right there.
Yeah, I was gonna say 3 days. It's in Florida. 3 days. You got three.
Is it with a home too, or just an automobile?
No, it's home. I think not out of bus.
Know when we bought our last house, my ex husband did not put my name on it. We were still married. He didn't put my name on it, and I'm the one who paid for the down deposit and all that. So we went back the next day and we're like, this needs to be fixed. And we had God, it wasn't 30 days, but I want to say it
But
was a little bit of
just
time
because you're
because
on the mortgage, if you're not on the title, then it means nothing. You know that,
that's what I
right?
meant. I wasn't on any of the paperwork. That's the thing. He went in and signed everything without me, and we went back. I'm like, tear up
But
every bit of that. Wasn't his
but
money, not his house.
but the title is what's important. That you need to be on the title, and a lawyer needs to do that one. Because all you're doing is you're guaranteeing the loan, but your name's not on the title. That's not a good move. If you're going to be on that payment, you better be on that title too.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that was one of my biggest issues was the fact that I was stuck with paying for everything, and it's his house, and
And also, Cindy, depending on what is on your contract says too. When you put in the offer for, let's put an offer in the house. So depends what is in your offer. Like for inspections, before you do inspection, you have 5 to 10 days not to pull out.
I didn't realize how much extra stuff went into buying a house. Like when you look and you're like, okay, I have to put down this percentage against this payment. I didn't realize how much upfront money you have to have, for the inspection, for the, I mean, just all of the little things that go into it. I mean, even like trash pickup, stuff like that, like all the extra crap that you have to HOA that you have to sign before ever even walking into your own house. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare.
Not every house has an
Hey,
HOA,
hey,
believe it.
hey, yeah, Hillary. If your realtor is very smart, and he can negotiate always the seller credit, man. It's just that's what I do all the time, and I always get it.
What do you mean?
Like when you offer put an offer for a house. Let's say your realtor put an offer for a house, and you always like for the closing cost. You don't have to pay all of it. Sometimes you can negotiate with the seller. They can pay all your closing costs. Sometimes they pay 100% of it. Sometimes they pay
And
like
I'm going to go one
70%,
step further than that. Always negotiate on your title insurance because that's where the lawyer, the closing lawyer, makes all the money, not the closing when you have to purchase title insurance. I
Really?
walk into a closing and go, that ain't happening. Lower the number down right now. That's what
Yeah,
lawyers.
title
I don't think I even
insurance
looked at those
That's
company will
numbers
why
say the
or
same
thought that
thing.
they
lawyers.
were negotiable.
That's why lawyers will close your sale for $750 because the real money is when they sell you that title insurance that you need to buy. So next time you do that, you go in and you say to the lawyer, no, 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 no.
Everything's everything's negotiable, man.
Well,
That's what it
something's on,
is.
not stamps and records. You can't negotiate that one. Stamps and records, you ain't negotiating on. That goes to the state. And if you have an HOA, you really can't negotiate on the HOA. The HOA is goes by how many
Yeah.
days left of that month.
Even with the house insurance, like sometimes like half of the year, and even sometimes the seller agree with to pay for the rest of the year for you too if you negotiate that too, you know. So
Oh, that's just the seller eating all that stuff to make the deal happen.
yep. Mhm.
But just remember, I told you about title insurance.
That's right, Cindy. That's
It,
right. That's
it's a real
right.
such a racket. Wait a minute, and I'll say, wait a minute, why do they need title insurance when I already paid for it? Now we're closing. Like, there's no lien, so what are you doing? Why are you charging them title insurance again? Well, we have to. It's the same bank. They're mortgaging with the same bank. That okay, all right, whatever. I don't go to closings anymore.
Hey, really quick, Stevie, did you want to speak up what you just wrote in chat? Share on it? Stevie just put that there was a major hold on, let me get back over there real quick. Breaking news, mass casualties, a ship collided with the Brooklyn Bridge. Anybody know anything else on
Boy, you multitask, don't you?
it? It's one of the
I
superpowers of being ADHD.
I haven't heard about it, but it would be breaking news for sure.
Oh boy, you guys better debate that for the next 4 hours.
Man, Cindy, you know what they dragged me for today? You know what they told me? So they asked me, well, the question came up about birthright citizenship and whether I agreed with children who are born here from undocumented people, whether they should have full or the same birthright citizenship rights as natural born Americans. So we were having that conversation. And just through trying to ask more clarifying questions, my goodness, it is such a hot topic. This case of immigration, I don't even think we'll be able to agree because through that same
Sorry to
convo,
interrupt you, Diana. It's in the chat. Sorry to interrupt. The
no, no worries.
from the bridge is in the chat if someone wants to read it.
And yeah, we can read it right now. Hillary, if you want to read it, that'd be great. But Cindy, what we found out was that some people don't believe that immigration is an issue at all. And I know that you have someone very close to that. And it was just wild for me to hear that some people believe that we don't have an immigration or didn't have an immigration problem before President Trump came in. That was really wild today. And yes, Jazzy, do you want to read it?
Just Google. I mean,
No, thanks, Diana.
present.
I'm in the middle of something.
You're
Sorry.
Yeah.
welcome.
Wait, 1 second. Wait. We talking about immigration problem before Trump came in. What are you talking about?
Yeah, there were people here that were saying that we don't have an immigration problem and haven't had an immigration problem and
No,
immigration
no one
doesn't
said
affect
that.
them.
No,
Where's
no one.
where's
That would be the
yes they
same
did.
people that would say the
No, no,
Holocaust
I
never
don't think no one
happened.
said that, Diana. That's your remix.
But Jonathan, there are
Where's
people that
Shakespeare?
believe.
That's the
Bring
Jonathan,
Shakespeare in
LSC
here.
talking. That's
Bring
the
to
LSC
be.
talking.
Where's to
well,
be? I don't do LSD.
Jonathan,
Relax.
there are people that believe the Holocaust never happened either, too. You know that, right?
And we faked the moon landing.
Guys, yeah, look real quick, guys. There's a mass casualty event with the Brooklyn Bridge. I was reading it actually. I was on my other phone just trying to get all that. Mass casualty event has been declared after a boat collided with the Brooklyn Bridge. First responders are on the scene attempting to rescue all the victims, which amount to about 300. God damn, 300 people. Holy shit. That's a
Were
lot of
hard
people.
injured or what?
No, it's 300 people on that boat, I guess. That's and that boat that went down. So
I don't
I don't
think
know what's
that
going on.
I
So
Wow.
don't I don't think the boat went down. I just looked at the video and
okay,
it's
well
just the
we
top
got one
part.
second. I'm driving and I'm talking at the same time. I'm gonna once again I got to update real quick. So this is happening in real time. So go ahead if you have something you want to add, Allison, go ahead and do so because I just wanted to grab a pizza real fast, a real New Jersey Northeast pizza, not that Chicago or down south or California
Jonathan.
pizza. I'm
Down
talking about
south, they
authentic
can't make
pizza.
pizza down south.
Do you want me to
Yeah,
read the
I know,
article?
right, Cindy? Cindy, they don't know anything about
Terrible.
pizza, Cindy.
But you know why you guys really do have the best pizza in New York and the best bagels?
Yeah,
Because
yes.
because your water, your water.
You want me to read this article?
Let's go. Let's go for it, Leah.
Yes, love when you read, Leah.
Multiple people injured after Mexican Navy tall ship slams into Brooklyn Bridge in horrifying scene. A massive Mexican Navy tall ship making a festive visit to New York slammed into the Brooklyn Bridge late Saturday, toppling its huge mass into the deck in a horrifying scene that left multiple crew members seriously injured, according to fire officials and sources. It looks like an old schooner. Like it's crazy. Like big.
Leah,
Yeah.
Leah,
Yeah.
blame Trump for that one too.
Yeah, I know. Um, a search and rescue operation was underway to pull people out of the water after one of the towering 147-foot mass on the, don't know how to say it, Cotamoc? I don't know, which has a crew of 277 collided with the bridge's road deck just before 9 p.m.
Mexicans. I
And
mean, Diana, I didn't mean that, but yeah. So it's Mexicans.
Oh,
oh my
stop.
god. And I saw the video. You can see, the cars going by aren't impacted. It's not like anybody's falling off the bridge.
Not the
Yeah.
bridge you're talking about. They're talking about the boat. We were talking about the boat.
Brooklyn Bridge. Is there any structural damage?
No, they're gonna inspect it though. They're always they always have to inspect it after a hit like that. So it's too late to say if there's any structural damage to the Brooklyn Bridge, but protocol is to inspect it. So
It
Okay, I don't
says
live in Jersey or New York, but what would
You
such an
want me
event
to
should
bring the
normally
bot?
cause?
yeah, let's bring it in, chat. Yeah. Try to reach out to you, chat. This is what we need.
While she's
Push
doing
up.
that, it says victims are being
Hey,
transported to
hey,
Brooklyn
hey,
Navy Yard, with those in critical condition being taken to a nearby hospital for additional treatment. The vessel, built in Spain in 1982, has been in the city as part of a promotion for next week Sail Forth Tall Ship event, which celebrates America's 250th birthday. It's really
hey, B,
pretty
I send
ship.
you the video.
That's kind of crazy that that guy driving that boat literally didn't think about how tall the ship was compared to the bridge. It's like, what? Eh, I mean,
Don't you have to get clearance first before you can even go under a bridge like that? If you have a tall ship like that?
I don't know. It's just bizarre that shit like that happens.
Donald Trump tried to warn y'all.
He warned us about a lot of things. You want to be more specific on that?
He told us Mexico wasn't sending their best.
Carlos said it, not me.
Hello.
And it's not even like it was like close, like, oh, maybe we'll fit under the bridge. It's like very clearly going to smash into the bridge and not fit.
Hey, hey, Jonathan. Has anyone seen anything about the terrorist attack in Palm Springs 40 minutes ago?
Yeah, the right wing domestic terrorists.
Is that what it was?
Yep. Right
Ki-
conservatives, domestic
Killing.
terrorists.
Kill
Okay,
them
hold
all.
on a second. I have that story too, and it's not
Yeah, where
right
did you hear
wing.
that?
It says at least one dead after bomb rocks Palm Springs Reproductive Center in an intentional act of terrorism. Authorities are
Okay,
investigating a major bombing at Palm Springs Reproductive Center where one died. The victim's identity remains unknown,
but
and
you know,
officials.
Leah, go ahead and give us your date line. And what you call it? Adrian, are you there, Adrian?
I'm
Adrian going
here. I
twice.
am here. Definitely.
Okay, all right. Let's get the date lines out the way, guys. Since we're here, because they have them ready. Go ahead, Leah, give your date line, and Adrian, go ahead, give your date line.
All right. Monstrous tornado outbreak kills dozens across Kentucky, Missouri, spawns devastating damage. A tornado outbreak swept across the Ohio Valley on Friday night, leaving at least 27 dead and rescue crews frantically searching neighborhoods left in ruins for any survivors. The supercell that spawned multiple tornadoes began on Friday afternoon in Missouri and ended Saturday morning in Kentucky. Officials are still surveying damage and provided varying estimates as to number of people impacted. Trump says he will speak with Putin and Zelensky on Monday. President Donald Trump announced he'll be speaking with Russian President Putin and then with Ukrainian President Zelensky shortly after as he looks to broker a deal to end the war in Ukraine. Negotiations on the war have dragged on over the last 4 months, with the administration's patience growing thinner as Russia's ground operation in Ukraine continues despite global calls for a ceasefire. Now, Trump said he'll be talking with both parties and other key leaders from NATO on Monday morning to stop the bloodbath. At least one dead. This is the Palm Springs thing. At least one dead after bomb rocks Palm Springs Reproductive Center. Authorities are investigating a major bombing at a Palm Springs Reproductive Center where one died. The victim's identity remains unknown, and officials won't confirm their connection to the person of interest. Palm Springs Police Chief Andy Miles said the incident extended across multiple blocks, describing it as a massive crime scene. Terrorism came knocking on the door of Palm Springs, Miles said during a news conference Saturday night. We survived, and I can tell you that this city will rise and be more effective as a beacon of hope than before. Miles said the bombing was an isolated attack. Now I want to know, you guys get a choice. Well, Jonathan, I'll ask you. Um, uh, a women's basketball story or the inmates from New Orleans?
Both. Let's
Okay.
go.
All right. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark have heated exchange after hard foul during Sky Fever game. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese had a heated exchange after the Indiana Fever sharpshooter fouled the Chicago Sky forward in the third quarter of their matchup Saturday. Reese pushed Fever forward, Natasha Howard in the back as she grabbed an offensive rebound off a miss by teammate Rebecca Allen. Reese brought the ball low and Clark fouled her before she went up for a shot. Reese fell to the ground. Reese got up from the floor and got into the face of Caitlin Clark. Referees looked at the play and determined Clark used her left hand to shove Reese to the floor. They upgraded the personal foul on Clark to a flagrant foul, and Reese and Aaliyah Boston of the Fever were issued technical fouls. And then the last one, that's the one with the inmates in New Orleans. 7 of 10 inmates who escaped from a New Orleans jail through a hole in the wall behind a toilet remained on the run May 17th as authorities in Louisiana continued a massive manhunt and wondered if the men had had inside help. The inmates, including some with murder charges, broke out of the jail in Orleans Parish at about 1 a.m. on May 16th. Nearly a day later, Kendall Miles, Robert Moody, and DeKeenan Dennis were back in custody, according to Governor Jeff Landry. 3 down, 7 to go, and we are not slowing down. Lock 'em up, Landry said in a social media post. That is my dateline. Back to you, Jonathan.
Let's go, Adrian.
All right. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone from Florida, where it is stinking hot today. I spent the day in the pool. Hope you guys all had a good day. I've got the sunshine scoop, the wildest, quirkiest, and the stories you're going to be talking about tomorrow. All right. So, Glenn Rogers, known as the Casanova Killer, was executed by lethal injection on May 15th at the Florida State Prison for multiple murders in the 1990s. Before his execution, he praised President Trump, saying, President Trump, keep making America great. I'm ready to go. And those final words sparked heated debates online, with some praising closures and others questioning the political angle. In Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County, Deshima R. Emmons, who, tough name to say, but listen to this story, was arrested Wednesday for allegedly kidnapping an Amazon delivery driver after sneaking into his van. The driver had stopped to check a tire with a nail, only to find Mims in the passenger seat, demanding he drive while making a gun gesture under her dress, causing the driver to comply out of fear. She fled after a bystander intervened, throwing a rock at the van. She's held on $15,000 bond. I'm still waiting for my Amazon order, so I'm wondering. A vehicle explosion rocked Palm Springs, California, near a fertility clinic today on North Indian Canyon Drive, killing one person, believed to be the suspect, and injuring at least five, with the blast deemed as an intentional act of violence by Police Chief Andy Mills. The FBI, the ATF deployed bomb techs and investigators searching for additional devices as the blast damaged multiple businesses through the clinic's IVF lab remained secure. So the social media posts are devastating, showing debris and shattered windows, and residents reported the shockwave citywide. The Karen Reed, let's just go to Karen Reed's second murder trial in Massachusetts continued. Forensic scientist Andre Porto testifying that John O'Keefe's DNA was found on her SUV's taillight and a cocktail glass, supporting claims she struck him in 2022. Defense attorneys argued police planted evidence pointing to fire trooper Michael Proctor's incriminating text, fueling online speculation about a cover up. The case has definitely gripped our true crime followers. Joseph, can't wait to do this one with you. We've got the GOP lawmakers erupted today over Trump's claim that India offered a zero tariff deal, with critics labeling it fake news to boost his Gulf trips optics. Some Republicans accused him of exaggerating trade wins, while supporters hailed his deal making prowess. And one more, the GOP senators clashed on X today over Trump's National TikTok Academy. Yeah, you heard that correctly. National TikTok Academy. It's to train influencers. With Trump posting on social, TikTok will be protected. A great platform for young voices. Tremendous for young voices. Nobody does it better. Detectors are calling it a propaganda factory, fearing government overreach into social media. Supporters praise it as a bold move to engage Gen Z, amplifying the online firestorm. Hey, by the way, hashtag TikTok Tango. Thank you, Jonathan, and back to you.
Pew 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 pew.
Pew, pew, pew. Yeah, we're open, guys. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Anyone wants to jump in? They can
I
jump
mean,
in the
I see
chat. Let's
chat.
do it.
I see chat got that bot up. I don't know if she's ready, but she's ready. I see it. You may have to drop down to see it, but oh my God, that does not look good. So drop down if you can't see it. We'll bring you. Well, the co-host will bring you back up.
Yo, a boat is crashing into the Brooklyn Bridge right now. Apparently there's a
Did y'all see it?
Yeah, we saw the first video, and then in the middle of this one, that looked pretty bad. So people have passed, correct? There's been deaths.
The only thing that we heard so far was Mia read an article and it said maybe a few crew members were injured. So hopefully no deaths. No deaths.
No, they're calling it a mass casualty event. Several places are calling it that.
It's just the
You,
top
you
part that came off.
You eating a steak pizza over there, Jonathan?
There we go.
I'm gonna get some Los Angeles pizza today. This is breaking news. I heard that there have been casualties. So I don't know if Hillary is here, but I know somebody. Leah, you were reading the story earlier. Were there casualties?
I can't find anything
In New
that
Orleans?
says casualties yet. I'm still looking.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing, it's 3 people are in critical condition and about a dozen others are seriously injured at this point.
Wow. And I think that Hillary, you saw that news breaking from the chat, huh?
Yeah, that's not my story. That was Stevie's story. So shout out to Stevie.
Yeah, Stevie, shout out to you. Are you here?
Hi guys, I'm here.
Hey, Stevie, thank you for breaking the story. You want to, did you get a chance to catch up? Because I know sometimes we just put it in the chat, but I would love to hear more about it.
No, I have the same information you guys have.
Oh, the good old days when we used to be able to go to Twitter and get information. Now we can't.
Not only can we go and get information from there, we got to find a way to simulcast this live over there too and bring them over here.
Threads. Nah.
We need some Xers over here.
X can't be trusted today. So,
Man, I'm telling you, we have like for every one person on the right, 100 on the left.
but why do y'all like do the whole right, left, liberal, dim? Like, aren't you an independent?
Yes, I'm just narrating the story, chat. You really gonna tell me that's not true?
Yeah, like, because if you're an independent, wouldn't you, instead of doing the whole dim Republican thing, wouldn't you just talk to the issues?
I do talk to the issues, and as an
That part.
independent, listen, the other Mexican of DTN. What's up, Mariana? How you doing? You want to talk
Not
today?
Mexican, girl. Not Mexican.
Hey, it's DTN. We all Mexican here, according to King Being over there. That's what he said today, right,
Hey, be
Jonathan?
easy on the Mexicans, damn it.
That's right. Where's Barth? Because if I'm moderating today, we bringing everybody in for this conversation.
Respect my spectrum.
Hey, what happened to the podcast? Fuck Trump.
I've had a couple of family situations.
Well, you
We're
here
gonna get it
now?
back
You
on.
want to talk
Don't
about
let
it?
Trump take you out like that.
Are you
No,
still
no,
in
I
the
ain't
fuck
Trump.
Trump mood,
No,
Luis?
no, no, no. It's not that. My
Is
mom is
this
in the hospital.
bridge breaking news here Trump's fault too?
No, no, no. But is
Not
it a
yet.
Mexican crime?
Not yet. It's crazy. Did you hear that? So why are you still on the fuck Trump train, Luis? I figured that because you didn't do the other segment that you were softening up to President Trump.
Wake it up, Diana. Wake it
Look at my I can always count on my crocodile man.
So,
Jonathan,
What happened in Palm Springs?
well, wait 1 second if it's okay. So, Fox
Yeah, yeah,
5
go ahead.
in New York, so just about not even 10 minutes ago, said a Mexican Navy ship crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge Saturday night, knocking off its mast and apparently sending passengers into the water. We couldn't see that from the video. I couldn't, but apparently that's what happened. Video shows the large sailboat with two towering masts and a waving Mexican flag plowing into the bridge as shocked onlookers are heard screaming, "Oh my God." Search and rescue is underway. Um, this is a tweet from NYPD. Due to a collision investigation, avoid the area of Brooklyn Bridge, South Street, Seaport in Manhattan, and Dumbo in Brooklyn. Expect heavy traffic and a large presence of emergency vehicles in the surrounding area. Then it says the backstory. The boat is reportedly the Mexican Navy ship, and I don't know how to pronounce it. Somebody help me, which sailed into New York Harbor earlier this week. The whatever the name is, with its 147-foot mast, was intended to travel back to New York in July 26th for the Sail Forth event celebrating 250th birthday of America. The vessel, built in Spain, we already said this part, in 1982, with the sole purpose of training cadets, is expected to be one of the 30 Class A international tall ships that will parade through the harbor on July 4th, 2026. That's all the new details for now.
They're not coming back. They're all getting deported. You know that. Trump don't play that.
Chat.
Man,
There's
they getting
also
sent to
an
El Salvador.
there was also an explosion somewhere, right? Like close to
In Palm
a
Springs.
yeah, fertility facility, something like that. Chat. Whether this is true or not, I just found it. Because I was just there yesterday. So I was like, oh, glad I didn't spend the night after all. But it just says breaking. The suspect in the fertility clinic bombing is Guy Edward Bartkus, Bartkus, 25, of 29 Palms, California. He left a rambling message about how he never consented to being born. Now, I haven't looked any further than that, but that's what I saw right now.
Wow. So, no offense, but not other people. What the hell? You never consented to being born? Well, you can take care of that problem on your own, buddy. You didn't have to bring anybody else into it.
It's true, Hillary.
So, real quick about the New Orleans thing. Does anybody know how the one guy got caught? Because it's interesting that 10 escaped. One of them was overlooked, but that's kind of unnerving as well. So initially, they had reported that it was
Intact.
11
Doc,
people were missing. What? Sorry. So 11 people were missing. One person was just overlooked in the count. What the hell? Y'all have it free? Anyway, and uh, and then the 10 that escaped, one of them is caught. How? Do we know?
Last night he was caught because he went to the French Quarter and they have facial recognition cameras everywhere. Real smart guy. I'm gonna go hang out in French Quarter down on what that street is, Vomit Street. I forgot the name of it.
Well, there's Bourbon
Urban,
Well,
Street,
urban.
there's Decatur, there's
I was trying to talk
French
about
Quarter
the
is a bit larger.
Palm Springs attack. Um, but let me get out of this. So y'all want to go to the Louisiana inmates instead?
Yo, New York City is a G's, man. New York City is a G. Like every local station in New York right now, because I have that program. I can look at every station in the country. Every local station in New York is playing something. They're not. It's not like they're sitting there watching this news. They're playing their stuff. CBS is playing that regular news magazine. ABC has a baseball game, and I think Fox had something else going on, a hockey game or something. Guys, they're not even showing the Brooklyn Bridge.
That's New York. We mind our business.
They're OGs.
I'm sure they'll all find out after the game. Nobody's looking away right now.
Since we're on New York, I stepped away, but I have some New York news. I put it in the Telegram. And Chad, I'm gonna toss it to you. I know you wanted to speak about Palm Springs, but so I believe he's a valedictorian for NYU. He got up there to give his speech, and he went in on the situation in Palestine. So now NYU is refusing to give him his diploma. So yeah, the controversy continues. That was his platform. That was his chance to say whatever he wanted to say, and he chose to speak about Palestine and Israel. And the university is now withholding his diploma. Can't make this shit up.
Well, that's the second time this theme has come up of is that possible that they can do that? And it seems like it must be legally somehow allowed for two people in a week now to do that and it for it to come in the news.
Well, I'll say this: NYU is a private institution, and this is in no way a form of disrespect, but NYU is heavily Jewish. So you're not gonna get up there and say what you want to say and don't think there's gonna be repercussions. I don't know if it's in the You got to read that student handbook. But yeah, I don't know if they can do it, but they did it.
Yeah, Divine. I read that article. They were claiming that he was supposed to avoid any political stances in his speech, and they're claiming that he intentionally violated a code of conduct by speaking about
Who's
that.
that? Who's that? Who are you speaking about, guys?
The student speaker at NYU's graduation. I don't know if he's valedictorian. Most likely he is. But his speech today or yesterday at graduation, he chose to speak about Palestine and their treatment on the hands of Israel.
It's free speech, guys. I don't agree with that shit. And I'm pro Israel like a motherfucker, but I don't agree with muting out opposition. I'm sorry.
They do make you approve the speeches in advance, though, and if he said he was gonna say one thing and he said something else, that's maybe how they're saying that he broke a rule or something. I don't know.
He can't break no damn graduated already. How? He graduated. What you gonna do? Punish me?
Looks like they are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
How?
JB,
apparently.
they're withholding his diploma. They're refusing to give him his diploma.
Doesn't mean he didn't graduate.
He graduated. He earned that.
I don't even know where my diploma's at, to be honest with you. So probably in storage somewhere, but I still am able to put down that I graduated on every job application.
Well,
And he is
apparent.
valedictorian. And only thing they're gonna do is make him more popular and more in demand. Because when this administration's out, everyone's gonna be talking about who stood up. So there you go.
Well, apparently the speeches is before the diplomas. Technically, it seems.
Yeah, but I don't think they give it to you right then. You guys graduated before. They give you a
Yeah,
degree like,
those are fake diplomas they give out. You
yeah,
go get.
you got to
But
go to
once
the
again,
bursars.
yeah. So when you guys, I'm just saying this right here. All you MAGA people, the SS and Stasi, they people didn't speak out then, and they were ruling the country, and they thought whatever. But when that was over, all those SS people, they all went into hiding, and they all thought they were winning, and in the end, they all went into hiding. That's all I gotta say to you guys. I land.
Some of them got drafted.
Well, oh, you talking about paperclip?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's not forget
You
that.
talking about paperclip? Yeah, you talking about paperclip? Yeah, absolutely.
They said we want to know what y'all working on and who did what. Oh no, no, we gonna take you. We gonna take you. We gonna take you. All is forgiven.
Hey, guys, he's talking about Operation Paperclip.
Those are the guys that are in Oppenheimer, right?
No, remember we did that bomb before during World War II.
Yeah, but didn't we get it with the help of the people that came
No,
over the paperclip?
no, Paperclip came afterwards.
Oh, okay, my bad.
And this has precedence. Like when people usually give their speech and they're the valedictorian, they usually include some type of social statement or whatever they want to include. And so you're gonna basically tell him he can't get his degree. You let me pay all that money for a degree, and you're telling me that I can't have it.
Yeah, but
They they
someone
can't they
mentioned the
can't they
code
can't
of
do it.
conduct, and it's a private.
They can't do that.
That's a
Freedom of
private.
speech.
Yeah,
Freedom of
Exactly.
but
speech. New York, New
NYU is
York, and
private.
they're in New York. Freedom of speech. The lower courts will knock that thing out right away. They won't have an appetite for that. They're gonna probably like show the Trump administration like, see, we tried, because they really don't care, and that was it.
Even if it's against the student code of conduct, and he was told not to speak about certain topics, and he did it
Freedom of
anyway.
speech. Freedom of
And he can
speech.
probably go look at everyone who spoke before him at graduations and use exhibit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like usually students give some type of statement when they're speaking and stuff. So maybe you can't take away someone's hard work that they did for all of those years to earn the degree. Like
Even at a
that's
private
crazy.
No, no,
institution.
That's
no.
crazy.
Even at a private institute, and I'm gonna tell you something. They've had political speakers come in and speak at the commencement ceremonies.
That
So,
part. That part.
so yeah, so yeah, that all they're trying to do is appease Trump right now, and that's the crazy part about it. And NYU's gonna be called out. Like they try to do that shit to Princeton, and like Harvard was like, I know they tried to do that. And that was and Princeton stood up and said, "Nah, we ain't rocking with you like that." Or was it Harvard?
I think it's Harvard.
Harvard eventually said, "Yeah," and then Princeton and everyone else started like, "Yeah, we're gonna do the same thing." They got the backbone. They just want to show some backbone. Harvard stood up. Princeton followed afterwards. So NYU is the I don't use that word, so I'll call them punks. All right, that actually they caved right away. NYU caved.
Isn't
What is the
Barron?
benefit of that? Is it that they're going to get more funding or not get funding cut? Is it what is the benefit of going after your own damn students like that? What you're not going to it's not going to encourage other students to come to your facilities. What is the point of it? Is it literally just for funding?
Yeah, NYU is a heavily Jewish institution, heavily funded by Jewish philanthropists, and so I mean, look, I'm with the young man. Say what you want to say, but this is the backlash that you're going to get, especially at an institution like NYU.
Well, they should only have one type of student there if that's the only people that they're going to want to listen to. Don't let any students in who are not Jewish in if that's how they want to act. That's
That's not.
crazy.
It's not NYU, bro. NYU
And
don't care.
Maybe if your students are acting like this, you should prepare them better
Some of
and
the
teach them better.
some of the fiercest pro-Palestinian, I guess, protests happened there. So no, the divine's wrong on this. They're just trying to appease the Trump administration. That's all.
I thought it was Columbia that had the fiercest. NYU didn't have any uh, tents and students wilding out and blocking students from going to class. That was Columbia. NYU's not having that, bang. I'm in the city, like
but I thought they had the protest at NYU too.
not to the extent that they had it at Columbia. That's what I'm saying.
In these colleges, they are teaching these kids. I mean, literally, they've got entire courses on it on how to think critical, how to think like this, how to do protests, how to stand up for it, how to do these things. Why aren't they also teaching classes on how to not get your ass kicked out of college?
Just as a sidebar, his major was cultural criticism and political economy.
Oh wow.
I agree. We're teaching our students to stand up for what's right, and then when they, well, in this case, you can't stand up for what's right. I don't know. This was a very controversial issue, and I don't want to go there right now unless y'all want to.
I mean, I
What
always like to explore that side of the school because what ends up happening is that people start asking like who is kind of guiding the students, aka minors, as to what's right or wrong. And you know who I had this convo with is Angela. She's really good for this conversation, believe it or not, because we would attend like the school board meetings and things like that, where we heard all the different sides of the parents that were, discussing this item, and then we would talk about it. So it's interesting because some people believe that the schools have, their way of wanting to see things, and that it, spills into the children.
Just don't understand how you can teach kids to be a certain way, to think a certain way, and then punish them for doing exactly what you just taught them to do, unless you're also offering the equal and opposite viewpoint of okay, well, also here's this moral of conduct that you should follow.
I I think it was Pink Floyd that pretty much nailed it in their movie The Wall. Conditioning happens. And we do need education if we're going to be, molded into what our leaders want us to be.
Also, if you don't eat your meat, you don't get your pudding.
Right.
Well,
What's you
actually,
out?
education, education was a big topic in the conversation of immigration earlier when we were talking about the Florida bills and our opinions as to child labor laws and things like that. Because some people believe that, not all kids or people are uh, better off going through an institutionalized form of education, that the faster they get into a skill set or a trade, that they would be better off. So we had that conversation, and that's
Most
why it does
schools
matter.
nowadays offer those kind of programs. I know. Well, it had started the very first year it started was my senior year in high school. For the high school I went to, where they started doing the programs where you can go to work and get high school credit for it. Um, uh, there's all my son's school. If when he's in a particular program called PACE, and when he graduates high school, he will have an associate's degree already done, finished.
Did that.
That as well. Do you want to talk on it? Because I'd love to know more about it.
It's a dual enrollment with the high school, and although we homeschooled our kids, you could still participate in it. And he chose Georgia Tech to do his dual enrollment, and now he's in college. Um, he he started in, let's say, his first year in college, switching over his first semester, his first 3 months. He's now he's now moving from sophomore to freshman, something like that. I'm not fully caught up with it, but then I know he has his associates in computer science, and now he's going for his whatever that is, his AI
Bachelor's.
and yeah, that part. But only thing I do is just keep him accountable for staying focused to his schoolwork. The wife is who do all help him with all the other stuff. I only help him with the technology part of it.
So if you go to a public school, and I don't know what citizenship if it matters or not. Actually, I mean, if you're born here, even if your parents are illegal, if you're born here, you're going to a public high school. You have the same opportunity as other kids in that public high school, no matter where you live, to be able to not only get work release credits, to be able to you go get an after school job, and or actually you get to take off 3 hours early from school to go get paid and get your education for that. Or you have the option to literally be a college student while in high school, and I know that they have all kind of grant programs and whatnot. So if you don't have the money, you still have the ability, same ability as anybody else, to graduate and go right into the workforce because you've already got an associate's degree. I mean, it's never been like this before. This is an amazing program, and to my knowledge, it's open to everyone that attends public high school.
It does seem like, the culture of college, right? It used to be kind of an experience that's not necessarily valued like it used to be. And it seems inevitable, really, that skills training, was going to be something that, was super important more than the culture in a particular way. So, yeah, these kinds of, it used to be maybe that there was a bit of a reputation, about going to your local 2 year high school or 2 year college or whatever. But the trade school theme has kind of replaced that and become so useful and valuable, it seems like.
I know a ton of adults who are getting soft skills who are going back. Like we've got here in Houston, we've got the Texas Lone Star. It's $600 for an entire, so that's 18 hours, an entire semester, $600. Everybody in this room could put aside that kind of money to go back and get a soft skill that's going to help improve your career. So you go like 3 times a week, in the evenings or whatnot, And next thing you know, you're the one up for the next promotion. You're making an extra 20, 30, 40,000 a year. It makes a difference. And with kids coming into the workforce as prepared as they are these days, we need to be on our game. We need to be learning AI. I mean, I don't mean just like, watching a few YouTube videos. I mean, learning machine learning stuff. If we're not on top of it and we're not even keeping up, I mean, they're coming into the workforce ready to go. We got to be there to be able to either meet them, match them, or preferably teach them and be able to help them excel in their careers as well as our businesses. Otherwise, we're getting left behind, y'all. Nobody's taking home ec anymore, okay? Home ec teachers are at home right now crying, wanting to know why they've got all these little uh tissue box koozies and nobody wants them.
Well, okay, I don't know if people in the room want to go back to immigration, but yeah, it does seem like in general, the whole setup with learning skills, like we should have been teaching our kids critical thinking, but in a way now AI, Google search, right? Like, does grandma know how to do a Google search? No. Does the kid intuitively know how to ask the right question to AI? Right? It's like in a way, AI is kind of bringing some the way you research getting your information online. There's that critical thinking is kind of coming online naturally with younger generations.
You're absolutely right. And also having to know how to ask. That's something that's a skill that I don't think any of us inherently just have. And maybe machine learning is teaching us how to ask for things to get the results that we need. And that comes in with humans as well. You have to know what you're asking for in order to get what you want.
You stole my answer. I wanted to get in here. Ali said teach critical thinking. It's something that is very difficult to teach. And so what we need to encourage is reading. These kids, I'm not going to say all, but a lot of them feel like reading is a chore. It's not enjoyable. They have to develop a love of reading and then also develop their vocabulary. And with the vocabulary comes the critical thinking, with the communication, with having conversations, with um, strategic questioning, pulling certain information out of the student or having them question you when presented with certain information. So critical thinking, I mean, I wouldn't say again, it's not taught, it's developed. Um, because it's, I mean, that's just how it is. That's just my educator's mind kicking in. We want them to have it, but it's not something you can say, here, kid, have a handful of critical thinking. It doesn't work like that.
So, are you on the app Elevate? If not, I'll go get you a free week for it real quick. I'll get you a free week because Elevate is an app that actually literally teaches that. It reinforces and it teaches you new vocabulary. I mean, look, I'm not gonna say how old I am, but I'm closer to 50 than I am to 40, and uh, I don't know a lot of the words on here, and my degree is in journalism, so what the hell? It's teaching me stuff, new stuff every single day. How to phrase things. It teaches you it's. I can't even explain to you how much this app has changed me, and it is a paid app. I am not a brand ambassador. I'm not getting any kind of kickback for this, but I'm gonna go grab you a free week of it if you haven't tried it yet, just because it does the things that you just mentioned, and I think it would be really helpful for you both as a person and just daily activities as well as education
Thanks.
that you could bring to others. I'll grab it for you real quick.
But hey, can I want to use the word developed, which was really important. So critical thinking isn't just vocabulary, or knowledge of things, but it's also uh, being able to stress management. Like a huge piece of critical thinking comes, speaking of the word critical, is just being able to stress the you're about to make. And a lot of people, because of the culture nowadays, pull back from the stress because they feel like they have the right to avoid it. And when is, they lose actually being able to or having the ability to actually operate and use critical thinking. Critical thinking actually is something that in the moment, and because of the avoidance, they can't, and that they need to land.
Absolutely, I agree.
What's going on, everybody?
Hey, Jeremy, you got
Mr. C.
What are we
hey.
talking about?
Well, what I just
You,
heard.
we were all sitting here talking about you. We were waiting for you to get here, and now you're here. Awesome. We can just sit back now. Nobody tell them what we said
What?
though. That's
I
important.
said Beetlejuice, 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 and there you are.
Okay, so here's the question, Jeremy. Have you ever had anybody tell you that it's important you've got a good EQ, emotional
Yes, of course.
intelligence?
Yes, of course.
I mean that's kind of what we were talking about, right? We weren't talking about the title, though it is an interesting, crazy theme, the title. But yeah, we're talking about the way, yeah, this there
Most
was
people
a
don't have EQ though.
it came up because of the Boston valedictorian that
Uh,
did the
NYU,
Palestinian speech. Oh,
NYU.
sorry,
Go ahead.
NYU valedictorian. He gave a pro-Palestinian speech, and they're withholding his degree because he, probably said, "I'm going to give one speech," gave another, broke the code of conduct. Any rate, that led to this conversation about discernment, education, skills, the way everything's changing.
And
Put that link in
also,
the
Um,
chat, by the way, you guys.
thank you. And also, Jeremy, like how our institutions teach students to, challenge society, make a change, use your voice. And so here this young man is like, I'm going to use this opportunity to say what I want to say, and they're punishing him.
yeah, no. Schools. I don't believe in college to be honest with you, unless you're going to become a doctor or a fucking lawyer or something like size. Like I don't believe that they push you to do any of those type of things. Actually, they say they do, but when you actually start doing it, it's like a total different. Yeah, I don't understand why you gotta fucking take these classes because I think college is a fraud. Just to be honest with you,
That's kind of the point I made, is that the cultural significance of the college experience is what it was.
it's like,
That was what it was about for a lot of people.
do you know how many successful
You go
people
for the
I know that
context and the
never went to
networking.
that? You know how many people I know that are successful that never went to college? Like I know more people who did not go to college are successful than I do that did.
Yeah,
For a fact.
I had one big goal to be a.
However, one second. However, had you attended college, you would know more people that are successful that attended college than that had not
Damn.
attended college.
Well,
That's true. That's true. I'm not just saying that. That's true.
did you go to college?
Yes, but what I'm trying to say
Where'd you
is,
go?
bro, it doesn't
Arizona
matter.
State.
One second. What I'm saying to you is, had you gone to college, okay? Just like if I went to if I hadn't gone to high school or if I hadn't gone whatever, if I hadn't gone to church, okay, if I went to church, I would know more people that go to church, okay, than that don't go to church. That's all I'm saying. What I'm saying is very logical. So, all I'm saying to you is when you make that statement, you have to consider those facts as well. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, so can you tell us, Jeremy, about your academic circles? Who is your scholarly crowd? You run in the academia circles, Jeremy. Maybe that's
He's
why
frozen.
you're seeing what you're seeing. Jeremy, you just need to find more academic circles. Get out of that frozen internet. Put yourself in some
When I go to fill out
academia.
an application, it says on when I go, to interview for a job, it asks on there, did you go to college? What college you go to? Or do you have a degree? Rarely does it say, does your degree apply to the job that you're applying for? Because I have a degree in psychology, I have a degree, I have an associate's degree in broadcast journalism, and then I went back to school in 2010 and got my bachelor's in music production. None of those help me in any way in my current career. But every job that you want to go to that's going to pay you more than six figures is going to ask you, where did you go to college? I mean, they just do. Most of them insist on having at least a bachelor's degree to be able
It's
to even
interesting. It
apply.
says it's interesting. It actually says in ChatGPT, the most successful people in the world, most of them did not go to college.
Yeah, but
Wonder
that
how many
that,
of
that
them
wasn't
Jonathan,
came from
the
hold
successful
question.
on.
families,
Hold on for a
legacies,
second.
and went right into the workforce.
Hold on for a second. It
Go ahead.
also then says si- people who graduated from college earn 62% more weekly and more than $30,000 at minimum annually than the people who did not graduate from college.
Right, you remixed it, Jeremy. What Bing
I,
says
I didn't
was,
remix it.
yeah, you did. You
Like
said some of the
I
most
didn't.
successful
I you didn't let
people.
me finish getting to the second part. There was a two-part answer to that question.
Okay,
Well,
good remix. Let's go.
It's well, never mind. Let's talk about successful
No,
people.
go
So
go back because I
in
want to
the
hear the second part of
it's
it.
in
I
the
just think it's like it's
'50s. It
It
was
was
funny
the
when
the
people are
back
talking about
pedal, so
success
he didn't
who
want to
have
say
never
it.
been successful. So for sure, go ahead.
well,
Yo,
you're an
bro, don't come. One second,
entrepreneur.
one second. Don't come in with that bullshit tonight, Jeremy. Okay, we're having a fucking great time. Don't come in with that bullshit. All right, we welcomed you back. Don't come in with that dumb
You
shit. No, don't
welcome
come in
me
with that
back.
dumb shit, bro. Don't come in. No, you need to relax. Okay, we're trying to be
Well, you
fucking
don't
nice to
sit
you,
your
ass. No,
fucking
no, we're
milk that
being
head
nice to your
ass
fucking
down.
ass, and you come in with the
Sit your
bullshit.
fucking milk
No,
that
no,
head ass
no, no.
down, bro.
Okay,
Relax.
you
Calm
need to
down.
fucking relax.
You need, yo, don't get mad at me because you're a realtor, bro.
Yeah,
Like, calm down.
yeah, you're right.
Like, I'm just saying.
Double down is a pattern I've noticed with you, Jeremy.
100%.
You're consistent. Any
He's our
Here,
rate,
mortgage
No,
though,
lender.
no, no. Here's the
wait,
deal,
what about
guys. No,
okay,
here's the
fine.
deal. He came in and we were cool. I was cool. Okay, whatever. All right, the last time he was here, he talked shit about the app. He did all that bullshit. But he came
Wait, what I
in.
missed? What I missed? What the hell
One
happened? I
second, one
had to.
second. He came in, and we're like, okay, cool, whatever. Then he had his what you call it, his submission, which was fine. Okay, yeah, whatever. And he's not the first person I heard say that. That's fine. But then I said, but it all depends on what circle you're in. That's all I said. If you went to college, okay, if you went to school and you sat in class full of 100 something people or 50 people or 30, whatever, and all this other stuff, okay, and your friends, you're there, you're living on campus, okay, your circle is gonna include people that went to college. That's what it's gonna include. So only thing I said was that, hey, you know what? Had you gone to college, you would probably know more people that are successful that went to college than not, which is reasonable. And then he comes and he started arguing. Well, he started talking. He had a discussion. I ain't arguing. But then all of a sudden he started trying to put people down in this room for no reason at all. I'm tired of the bullshit.
Hey,
Well, to
JB,
take it back to
Did he
JB,
leave? Because I
hold
was
on.
going to ask him what was wrong
No,
with
no,
being a
No,
JB,
I
realtor.
booted his fucking
No,
ass.
can I bring
Oh,
him
no,
good.
back?
JB,
Let me bring him
oh
JB,
my
back.
Yo,
no,
who the
goodness.
JB,
fuck is saying, can I bring him back?
let him back in.
No, who the fuck
It
saying
was
that?
Mariana. It was
That
This is
Mariana.
No, this is
Jay.
not your
excuse
shit.
me.
No, this is
I did
Jay.
not
This is
say
Jay.
that.
I was
I
gonna
asked
Oh,
take it
No,
back
where
I'm
to
Diana.
asking
Divine.
I
you
said
Jay.
always
where
going
was
at
he?
Mariana,
Because
Diana.
I was
God.
going to ask
And you
him
always
what
getting
was
involved
wrong
in
with
women's shit,
JB being
Divine.
a realtor and what did he mean by
Eh,
that?
No, he
that's
Because
what
didn't.
got you
he
mad,
It
was
huh,
doesn't
trying to
matter.
JB? He
diminish
got you
him.
mad when he called you a realtor, huh? I know it. I know it got you mad. But why'd you kick him?
Listen, we
He was
love
What?
being.
content. Where's
We're on a
Nelson?
vibe. We're having a
Is
good
Nelson
night. No
on
reason to get all
Switzerland tonight
This is
too?
not the no. This is not the Jeremy Green show. He comes
Is
in, he wants to get
Nelson,
sent,
you
jumps up
Switzerland tonight?
on camera. Look at me, hey, look at me. Get the fuck.
Man, we got Jeremy Green. What's wrong with you guys? He's content.
No, no,
Anybody
no,
that
no. It's
Oh
not
my
content.
God.
No, once again, we're here having a conversation. Okay. The first thing he wants to do, he attack you guys, and y'all sitting there like,
I didn't
oh,
hear what he
yeah,
said. What did he say?
whatever.
Oh no, he
he likes
basically
No
to
matter
said
what he
that.
said,
No,
the
no,
thing
he
is that he came
basically
at it
said that.
aggressively and attacked people that are here on stage that are having a good conversation.
he didn't really though. He just
Yes, he
kind of
did. No,
said
yes, he did.
basically,
No, no,
I'm
hold
the
on,
Okay,
hold
hold
on.
on. One at
shit.
a
These
time.
are the
Allison,
One
mute
at
your
a
mic because you're
allegations.
time. What
lying.
did he
Mute your mic
say?
because what he
No,
said is
no, hold
people
up.
in here talking about being successful that has never been successful, and that's when I say, all right, time's up. Like, yo, don't do that shit. We welcome you back. Don't come in with that dumb shit. You guys get fucking abused so much, y'all don't even know when the fuck someone's coming at y'all.
So, but my bad, JB, because I was actually ready. I was really gonna come off mic. I was ready to cut
Thank
him
you,
tonight.
Jay.
You gonna
But
say something too, right,
I
Jay?
respect your.
Yeah,
I
That's
was
why
gonna
you
say
that's
it
what I'm
should
just
saying.
let
respect,
us
cause like yeah.
handle it though. We'll handle it. You come
But
in like after we
I respect your
fail.
decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I
We was
don't.
baiting him. We was gonna
But
get him.
but
All right,
I
yeah,
Let
don't
me
let him
want to
back
sit
know.
here
in.
and
Fuck
say
it, let him
he
back in.
wasn't
Exactly.
in
The
trouble
fuck's wrong with
because
Let him
you?
back in. Fuck it.
that's
Jonathan,
bullshit.
did you drop me?
But if he comes in being disrespectful, I'm gonna cut him up.
Jonathan, did you drop me?
No, I didn't
No.
drop you.
Somebody drop me down.
I'm not even co-hosted. Thank Jesus.
Leave
Somebody drop
Mariana
me
I
down.
don't
I
alone.
do it,
just
Mariana.
Protect Mariana at all costs. Leave her alone.
Okay, well, what Divine was saying about
about kids reading, it makes a difference, vocabulary. It's true
that if you put yourself in a circle that is a bunch of people into education, that can impact your world. I was raised by an English teacher mom that did teach, like, read a lot, get that vocabulary going on, right? And like, I was growing up, it actually kind of sports and liking education as a theme probably kept me out of trouble in certain ways. And it did change the circle I ran in. There's a truth to that. And sure, Jeremy's rocking at whatever he's doing on some level. Would I want that? Would I call what he's doing success for me? No, I wouldn't. So we don't need to give anybody power when they say dumb shit, because I don't like, somebody called me smart the other day. Like, their version of smart is not my version of smart, right? Whatever. We're all unique humans. We have our different layers of success. And Jeremy is insecure enough, he just has to poof out every fucking time and say, I'm the best. If he really was the fucking best, in my opinion, he wouldn't need to spit it out and try to force it down everybody's throat. Is he back yet?
I don't know, but I think more importantly, where this conversation I think is going is that many of us on this stage have what it takes to put food on the table, and the concern is, will our children and our children's children be able to do what we are able to do? Because they, a lot of them tend to throw in the towel. Some of them may be spoiled and feel like, well, I'm just gonna, live with mom or what have you, or depend on my extended family. But we have to make sure that our children are able to go out there and be put what we call it productive members of society. There's a jail cell waiting for them, regardless of where they come from. And so I think that is the key point. We are all, I know I am, concerned for the next 2 to 3 generations that are coming up. I'm around them, I see them, I see how they move, and I see how they think, or sometimes don't think. I tease them all the time. I'll be like, "What you have for dinner last night? Quick, quick! What you have for dinner last night?" And they'll be like that's a problem. They're in the moment. Everything is 15 to 30 minute clips. They're very super unorganized. I teach them how to organize their things. I teach them how to do to-do lists, like all these things that we, I'm sure, do. They don't do. You have the phone in the palm of your hand. Like, you have a calendar. Put things in your calendar. Set notifications. Like, they don't do that. They just in the moment, and it's concerning. I'll end with that.
100% right about the incessant need for a dopamine drip for the instant gratification of the younger generations. It's something I've been researching for the last 3 months. I'm working on a project right now for Tubi, doing micro dramas. And I've gone deep on this research. And you're right. The younger generation needs it right now. And once it's done, it's out of the mind. It's part of this whole brain rot thing. Once they've seen it, they've experienced it, it's done, gone, finished. And if you ask them, hey, remember later on at 6 o'clock, I need you to be home for this, that, or the other, they'll say, okay. But like you just said, nothing's written down, nothing is set. It's out the mind. As soon as they walk off, it's done. And that in and of itself is scary. We are losing history. We are losing so much to this younger generation who just doesn't have an interest in it. Unless it comes in less than 5 minutes in a video format, they're not going for it. And, I've written several books, and my book sales have been just plummeting the last several years because ain't nobody buying books. Now my ebook sales are higher than they've ever been, but nobody's buying books anymore. It's a real thing.
Absolutely. I mean, we said they did it to the music industry. We all had CDs. We had our CD collection, right, with our initials on the back, so our friends wouldn't take them. And so now, some of us still look for those CDs, and even, records, wax or whatever, vinyl. A huge comeback with, my generation and possibly some of your generations. And people want the turntables, and so we have to keep what we have, or what we had, but also embrace the new technology. But yeah, we're gonna lose a lot of tangible things, and just the concept of creating an original thought. That is a skill, to think up something, and again, that can't be taught, but it can be sparked, with a firm foundation.
Man, I better learn how to adapt, man.
You're in the Matrix, baby. We can't hear you.
He came in here on this bullshit. I heard him. We better learn how to adapt. We adapting. Can your children's children adapt? That's what we're talking about.
World that we were in.
Just keep
You in the matrix, man.
spinning.
Yeah, guys, the mic is open. We don't have to talk about this. Whatever. We're gonna talk about the hey, let's do a quick reset. Immigration reality TV show for USA Citizenship. I have not seen it. If you saw it, your thoughts? Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? I don't know who watched it. What's the rules? How does it work? I don't know anything about it. What's going on?
I don't think it happened yet. We think it's a production company that has zero things on TV right now. They did Duck Dynasty, and they're trying to promote themselves by selling this crazy idea, which is like real life Squid Games in a weird kind of way.
Can you expand on that?
I'm 10 toes down on repeating back what I heard so far and being mostly uninformed. You crack me up, Hillary.
Right, I'm laughing
Can
too.
I stand on that?
Between me and Ali, yeah, I think it's
I
some
did not see
elimination
that
thing.
coming.
You have to prove you have to prove yourself to become a citizen, or you get sent home, something to that effect. That's what I heard. What you heard, Ali?
I shared what I heard in the room here, which is just hearsay. I stand on that, Hillary.
We just
ten,
love you, man.
10 toes down, bitch. Oh my gosh, we have yet to have a. Okay, Hillary and I have yet to have a fight. I don't even know how to fight with Hillary. But what I have suggested is we do our own version of drunk history.
Oh my god,
No,
that
we
would be
do.
fantastic. If we
And if
only took
maybe
drunk
you don't,
history from
yes.
if we only took the history from Chat GPT and literally repeated it
No,
exactly as it's posted, that
no.
would be awesome.
What we need to do is drunk history. And I don't know, maybe I don't drink that much. Maybe I'll bring a joint, but it could be like a drunk history of debate the news, and we can pull up old clips where everybody interrupted my ass, and I will just prove how they were about to lose the fucking argument, so they silenced my ass. Or
Yeah,
I
we
would
gotta
watch that.
have.
I think that'd be great. That would be hella funny.
top 100 fake
Wait, we'd have to
news
bring Diana
that's
in on it.
shared.
Diana would have to be the producer on that one.
Listen, I say next Saturday we do DTN MAGA night. I'm down.
Wait,
Don't be
I'll
so
moderate
ethnic.
it. Jonathan,
Don't,
I'm going to moderate that one,
so you
Jonathan.
admit you're a
Okay,
MAGA?
okay, that is no. She's gonna handle that.
Sat
That's fine.
no, 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 we, but like you gotta no. I say we do it just the way we plan it. Like a Saturday night live. I gotta convince the guys though. I gotta convince all versions of Barth that night. Andrew, Leah,
I
No, no,
think
Did
you
you
hold on,
need
hold
just
to
on.
say
You just
all
had a brilliant
versions of
idea, and then you said you
Barth?
want to bring the
all
guys into
versions
it.
of Barth. I
Come
rock with all
on.
Barths. What's up?
you need to be less ethnocentric, more inclusive, and talk about mega being brought in.
What did you just say to me, Allison? I heard the word.
You need
Fuck.
to be
Hey,
you need to
Divine,
be
translate
Absolutely
Divine.
no
okay.
clue.
You need to be less ethnocentric. America first is an example of that. Ethnocentric, country first, like world centric, like world
I need
first.
to
You
be
got
less of
okay.
that.
Less
Yeah,
ethnocentric,
less
right?
American. Okay.
I was saying yes, and more inclusive, and include mega. Make Europe great again.
You trying to say MAGA? What do you mean by
Mega.
MAGA?
Or
Elon,
MAGA,
tweet it.
you know.
Elon,
I'm
tweet
still
it
trying to
about.
understand how she's asking me to be less American.
I'm just. It was a
But
funny
actually, I'm
one.
not because
Okay, how
that's
do I?
I. No,
Because you,
Allie,
I'm.
Allie,
No, no, no,
Allie.
no,
Earlier today, I
no.
told them about. We had a whole conversation. I can't believe you weren't here. We had a whole conversation about like spirituality. They called some of them called me witch and all that good stuff. And I was talking about how, um, even some spiritual people believe in not voting. And I've voted before. I
Mm-hmm.
am
With you.
local. Huh?
I'm with you.
Yeah, and so it's just I that's another actually, you know what? That's probably how we can open next Saturday because is Don Juan here? Don Juan. Don Juan put in the chat that MAGA actually means witch and that it's connected to the Church of Satan and all this
Which are two
stuff.
very different things. Just say.
It was a very interesting conversation. So I don't know if Leah can hear me, but
Or
I
Don
think
Juan. Is
it
he on
would be
his 10
great
toes here?
if we can convince the quote unquote MAGA side, because I'm going to take MAGA, and MAGA for me means magician, right? I'm all about the MAGA. So I think it'll be fun, Jonathan. I say we try to
Wait,
do
have I
it.
been pronouncing that wrong my entire life? Is it magi and not magi? Like the gift of the magi?
Magi. I think
Listen, we
it's
even talked. We even talked about they even brought the Bible into this conversation. That's how deep this political
Oh
conversation
yeah, no,
went.
I'm just wondering if I've been the idiot that's been pronouncing that word wrong my entire life. Is it magi or magi
I've heard
or
I've heard
magi?
no, I've heard magi. But
Magi, Magi, Maga, Mago. Apparently, all of this is in the brains of what is it called? Trump deranged syndrome people.
uh
Apparently, this is all connected. The Trump administration is even connected to witchcraft. I'm
Yeah,
telling
y'all
you,
all
oh,
the
listen.
spell.
conversations today in DTN have been so cool that we should wrap it all up into a Saturday Night Live MAGA edition next Saturday.
And I think we need to also incorporate the new thing I heard about the this whole Fibonacci
Sound like
pine cone
the
thing
beast
in the
of
middle of the
Neverthal.
Vatican.
Is
Y'all know
that the
about that?
fake independent that I hear in the background?
Oh shit.
Sound like a it sound like the beast of Neverthal.
That's definitely the
Okay,
Democrat with the
well,
Here for 5 seconds,
Wi-Fi.
and now you've got your back in Wi-Fi. Go right where you just were when you were talking,
Yeah,
okay,
rewind
because it
well,
was
it.
to
working.
God,
Turn
yeah.
off the Wi-Fi. Use the data.
What I was saying to God was, anybody else know about this pine cone situation centered at the Vatican in the middle? There's some crazy stuff going on.
Pine cones?
Yeah, there's like this whole history of the pine cone and its connection to the Fibonacci and the golden mean, and this all connects to equanimity as well and not voting. And
Whoa,
at any
whoa,
rate, the
slow down, slow, because I don't know none of what you just said. What?
okay,
Let me tell you what I know about the pine
here's
cone. If
what
you're
I
ever in the
really
woods and you see a
know.
pine cone, you're going to be fine because you can start a fire with it. It makes a great kindling, and also you can eat the seeds. So, and you can throw it at something like a bear. If I don't, they probably won't do any good. Don't actually throw pine cones at a bear. But I'm just saying,
I
pine
believe we're
cones
in
are
the
good things.
twilight zone.
I was just
Listen,
trying to
man,
take the witch. I was just
this
trying to
is
take the witch heat off Diana.
Oh no, you listen. I First of all, that's a very funny story. But I believe that this is what we were talking about earlier. Why I believe religion was and is very instrumental in people's lives because the rabbit hole runs super deep, and you can get very caught up into it. That's why we don't do any kind of drugs on any of the spiritual stuff that we do, even if it's shamanistic in nature, because they're known for having relationships with sacred plants. And I'm all for it. I don't judge. I just think that it could be very tricky for people to
Wait,
have
they
these.
screw trees?
No, you like for example weed.
This is
I
only
think
happening in
weed is.
DTN. I promise you that. What'd
So
you
wait,
say, Allie?
I
No, they
think
don't screw no damn trees.
I think weed, speaking of trees, for example, I think weed is an amplifier, right? You can be amplifying negative and crystallizing the negative or the positive, right? Like weed isn't discerning going, okay, let me amplify your good, right? And not your bad. There is there's the
You thought
left and right path.
you talking about weed?
There's
No,
I
no,
don't know.
really.
I
there's
heard somebody was
Caleb.
screwing a tree. I
Have,
don't know.
Oh my
have you
God,
sound like
Well, on the
Leslie.
Jose.
note of speaking of weed, let me ask: is there anybody in here who's a chef who knows how to cook well? I got some THC truffle oil, and I'm trying to make brownies with it, and I want to make something hot. Okay, it's just a wild idea I had, but spicy brownies, kind of like the hot honey. Does anybody have an idea of what kind of a spice I could add into the brownie mix with the truffle oil that would give it that kind of sweet, but also a little bit of fire?
Allie.
cayenne pepper. Let's do stoned history of debate the news, clips and all. That's what we're gonna do. No, I don't want to promote booze. Hillary, stoned history of debate the news. One day, let's go.
I'm down. I'm down. I've been sober for 16 years, but I do use THC oils in my cooking from time to time. THCA more than anything else. But so does anybody have, besides cayenne pepper, any I don't think I have any of that. No, I do. I'm sure I do. Any other ideas on how to make that hot honey taste in brownie mix?
Frank's Red Hot. I put that shit on everything.
I was about to say I put that on
Molasses.
everything.
Wait, so you want a hot honey or a sweet heat? Because that
Sweet
those
heat, a
two aren't
sweet
the
heat.
same.
You're right. You are
So
right.
you need so you need to get like you need the best way to do it is to get like actual like a jalapeno, right? Because technically, unless you're trying to burn somebody's mouth, it's a mission. But
I have jalapenos in my garden right now.
you own okay, you own the jalapenos and dry them, or you can get like jalapeno flakes. I still cayenne pepper would be good if you just have to know how to measure it. But if you just want like something that's like an underlying heat, then you need to either do jalapeno. I'm not technically Ali is actually on it. It'd be cayenne pepper. Because either way you're gonna have to dry it so that it mixes well. And you're gonna have to use a smaller after you mix it and bake it, it's actually gonna seem like it's increased compared to how much you put in it. You can
How
also
about
My
I
God,
think a
I'm
lot of
back.
trial and error.
I'm back. Thousand
you
brought
can
me back.
also
We took Jeremy. We took a vote, bro. I'm glad the vote went through.
Oh, you did not take a goddamn vote for real.
We
We
sure
did, but
did.
even though we voted to keep
we
you
did?
out, somebody said we should let you back.
Oh, you,
I'm
Unofficially.
fucking with you, dude.
y'all need me here.
Hillary.
You were
Y'all
the
Yeah,
you were the
No,
need
no,
you is a
we don't need
stretch,
you.
bro. Need you
Yeah,
is a
we don't need you.
stretch.
you
Yeah,
need me here. Don't be
That's like a
boring.
full
it
yoga
served
stretch.
your
need you for
exit
what?
served your
Be
Being
exit.
seen or
interesting.
something?
You
Okay, well,
need me
Jeremy,
for
can you answer the question I just asked then? I was asking what spice can you add to a brownie that would give it that sweet heat, similar to the way that the sweetness reacts to the heat in honey, like the hot honey. Do you have any ideas on how to make a brownie like that?
cinnamon.
Your abs
Cinnamon.
Jeremy, your absence served two
As a
purposes. One, you gave Bing a little dopamine hit because he loves to boot people. And two, he got to test our loyalty on whether we would bring you back.
Did you bring me back?
And three, don't disrespect.
Oh, and I got muted.
You forgot three. Don't disrespect anybody, and you're good.
Yeah, you're not allowed to say that you kick ass in
Yeah,
relationship to
don't
everybody
don't
else
flex
sucking.
too hard. Don't flex too hard, bro.
You got
And y'all
Wi-Fi
call me a
face.
troll.
This is a conspiracy. He's
I
got
couldn't hear.
Wi-Fi
He
face.
said and three I couldn't hear him.
Be respectful.
Stop saying how badass you are and how everybody else
I don't think I'm
sucks.
badass. I was just fucking up. I mean, y'all do stuff, but it's okay.
See that right there.
You're
That
really badass. You don't have to preach it and shove it down our throat,
What'd you
right?
say?
are you booty clapping right now? What the fuck?
Don't
What
be
I
hating.
how wait. Let's just break this down. How do
I
you
mean,
get to
hold
booty
on.
clapping?
I
Do you
mean,
even listen to what I said? Because I'm gonna repeat it. What I said to Jeremy was the opposite of booty clapping. I said if
It's
you're
okay. It's okay.
badass, I said you don't just shove it down our throat and tell us that.
Yeah,
So I
y'all already
basically
know I'm badass.
insulted
You can
him
Google that
in a
shit.
subtle way that you can't pick up on. So you got to say I'm doing the opposite. Who was that? The half
I know
listening.
Jeremy has a bunch of badass shoes. I know that much.
Allison, Jeremy said, go Google my name. That's what he told you right now.
100.
He made
wait,
my
wait,
I,
wait, wait,
point.
wait, wait, wait.
He
I do
made
this
my
shit.
point.
Has
Wait, wait,
I
anyone
wait.
do
in
this
here
shit.
Googled
He
anyone else in
embodied the
here, honestly?
insult after I was called booty
Wait,
clapping.
I
wait, wait,
do. I do
No,
this
because I
shit.
don't give a
Jeremy's
fuck.
like, I'll Google my own damn name and show you guys. Huh?
wait, 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 wait,
My
wait. Jeremy, one mic, Jeremy.
yeah.
Diddy trial, guilty or not
Yes,
guilty?
Oh yeah,
yes.
Jeremy,
Good
tell us what you
question.
think,
Oh
please.
my god, I'm gonna. This is.
I
I'm
think
so
he's
over this conversation.
I think he's gonna be not guilty. To be honest with
Oh
you.
shit.
Here's
Do
why.
you?
Yeah. Here's
Okay,
why.
on
tell us
all
why.
There's
counts?
a difference between being controversial and being an idiot. Okay.
Listen.
No, I just want to know why. I want to know because he knows him, so I want to know why.
What he did to Cassie was awful, right? But
True.
they just discredited their star witness. So who's their star witness now? They just discredit the shit out of him.
Okay,
They have
Jeremy, I have a question. This is real up somewhere on stage. Okay, I have a question for you.
huh?
I heard that they are supposedly putting his adopted missing daughter on the stand. Do you know anything about that?
It's not true.
Okay, thank you.
So transportation, for prostitution, you don't think he's gonna get hit with that?
Even if he did, he's not going to jail for a long time for that. He's
But you
not.
just said he was gonna be. That's opposite.
I don't
So he's
think that
not.
the
None of.
defense,
Okay.
the prosecution doesn't have a strong case for it. Have you? Let me. Let's do this. It's really simple. Like let's do this real simple. Have you heard anything that would make you say this man needs to spend the rest of his life in prison, other than him beating up Cassie, which was
Has nothing,
terrible? Have
has
you?
nothing to do with the rest of his life in prison. It has to do with if he's gonna get hit with a charge. You said no. I asked you a
What do you mean?
specific.
What do you mean? How they gonna
Then all of a sudden
hit
you
with a
said, well,
charge?
maybe yeah.
Well, he's been
But in the
hit with
court from
charges. You
out of
mean
state to
Exactly.
in
convicted.
state. Well, how about this?
That
Okay,
doesn't.
listen, we're gonna go semantics. Is it gonna stick?
If that's the case,
You're saying no charges are gonna stick, right? I asked you a specific one, so you're saying no, it's
yo,
not gonna stick, or it is gonna stick.
they ain't gonna stick. They ain't gonna stick.
Bullshit.
And they're not gonna stick the way y'all think they are. They are not going to. And like that's the problem. They thought. I mean, Cassie. I mean, the state. They asked her very specific questions that led her down a path of like looking not awesome. You saw that, right?
Yeah, yeah, they romanticize the relationship. Yeah, but it's.
Well, I
I'm not
mean,
thinking about how
I
much they
mean,
did that.
some. Let's be real. Is Puffy a freak or a rapist?
I could care less whether he's
Both.
a freak or a rapist. Because yeah, he's
No,
him.
I'm
Yeah.
trying.
But the thing is, did
That's
he
a very,
do what
very
they said he
definitive
did?
line right there. One of them is acceptable,
Yeah.
and maybe it's not everybody's cup of tea, but the other one is criminal. So that's a very big
Exactly.
distinction.
That is the question that's happening right now. Is that the defense has drawn a line in the sand and said, okay, cool. Yeah, he did all this freaky shit, but is it illegal? And even if it is illegal, how illegal is it? Like, are we like, should we really be arrested by the federal government? To be
Yes,
honest with
if
you,
in fact he did have underage people there engaging in sexual activities, if he did in fact, when somebody says no, go beyond, then yes, then we should care. We should make sure that this is not a normalized thing in the music business.
Why y'all
okay.
However,
keep bringing up underage people? There was no
Yeah,
underage
yeah,
people in this indictment.
that never happened. See
Yes,
that
there
right
was.
there. Okay, where?
Yeah, but
Read
we
them.
didn't we
Tell
didn't say
me.
that
I
happened. The only person
I
that said
I
underage
know
was you.
I know of 'em.
Okay, so you said yes, there was. Show me where that is in the indictment, and show me where they asked Cassie about that. Don't worry, I'll wait.
That's not a part of this indictment.
So it's not a
more to
part of
your
the
point,
indictment.
how
Okay.
badly has he been crucified in the court of public opinion? Will he ever be able to get his career back on track as far as
so so
everything
so
goes?
so they're killing him right now. They were killing him, but now it's turning around. You're not seeing what's happening. TMZ and everybody's going like, "Oh well." I mean, you got to pay attention to what's happening.
Moving in the right direction. Show me what I'm missing.
He's gonna win the day. He's gonna win the day because he's turning public opinion right now.
Still, it's always going to be attached to him the same way that the court case with Michael Jackson was always attached to him. It's something that
Okay,
people won't soon forget.
right. But Jay Z was just attacked by a girl who said that he did all this stuff to her and blah blah blah, and she was and he fought it. Right. Then it came out the girl lied about everything. Like,
But Jay
and
Z can't
Is
be
that the one that
touched, and we
Tony
all
Busby
know
was doing
that.
her case?
what do you mean? Why can't Jay Z be touched?
I personally just don't think he can be. But
Okay, right now.
I'm gonna keep it to to myself. I don't want to go deep into what I know, but yeah,
So mysterious.
Yeah, I'd like
Oh,
to know
come
what you
on,
know.
spill the beans.
I mean, Jay is an investor in my company. I'd love to hear what you know that I
No, not about him. I'm just saying I don't think he can be touched. That's all I'm
don't.
saying about him.
Well, he just knows how to
And I
move.
love and I like him,
Puff,
by the way.
I'm just telling you right now, Puff. Like, is he a freak? Is he a jerk? Is he a narcissist? Yeah, he's all those things. Is he a
Those things
fucking
aren't illegal.
yeah? Did he abuse his girlfriend? 100%. Right. But if you abuse somebody to that level and you're in a new relationship, why are you reaching out to them saying, I miss you and need you back in my life? And my life feels empty without you?
I
This is the
will give
question.
Puppy credit for one thing and one thing only, and that's
Stockholm
that he could
syndrome.
have literally dropped every single name he had, every video he had, and he hasn't so far. So,
But he ain't gonna forget all the people who was talking reckless when he gets back in
oh, no doubt.
power.
The answer to your question is called Stockholm syndrome.
Okay. So you think she has Stockholm syndrome?
She
Mhm.
may.
There's
She loved him. Obviously, she had a lot of love for him. There, I mean, there's billions and
Let-
billions and billions of
let-
cases of
let-
people who loved
let-
somebody who went back and into a dangerous situation because they
I
loved them.
agree. I agree. But does that make him a rapist, drugger, fucking raped over 100 people? Like, I mean, let's be realistic, guys. Here's the problem: is that he could have been prosecuted for one of maybe 10 things for sure, but they didn't throw one of 10 things. They threw 100 to 200 things at him. Oh, he raped 2,200 people. You know, there's this lawsuits, and that's. I mean, it just doesn't sound believable anymore. And
Okay,
people are
so look,
like,
I used to promote in the '90s. I promoted raves and whatnot as a DJ. I did huge raves, in New Orleans, and there was plenty of drugs, lots of illegal activities, lots of things that went on in those raves. Okay, as the person who was in charge of them, did all the booking, all the promoting, all stuff, I could have gone to jail for a shit ton of stuff. But the difference is, I didn't
exactly.
participate in those things. So they may have been technically like my party or whatever you want to call it, or I was a promoter for the parties and whatnot, but I didn't participate in those
But
activities.
that
The
doesn't
difference between
matter.
me
That
and
doesn't
Diddy
matter.
is that Diddy
If
did.
something happened at your party that you put together, that you're responsible for it, whether you like it or not. If you threw a party together and someone got raped and drugged, and it happened on your watch, your ass is in trouble, whether you like it or not.
I'm not going to prison for the act. The person who did it
You
is.
don't know that. You don't know that.
Yeah, it
Country New
depends.
Orleans
Like,
is corrupt as fuck. Hey, the good
if you're
thing is if I went to jail
connected
in New
to the
Orleans, we know how to get out now.
yeah, but Jeremy, you're right. It's important to know like what you're connected to in the space, like what happens in your space you're connected to, and you never know what kind of angle that can get hit at.
Do you guys actually like what's more realistic? Let's just honestly, like, and I'm just saying this because I think Puff is a dick. I don't know. I'm being honest with you. Like, I was around Puff a long time. I'm telling you the truth here. What's more likely? Pup was a fucking asshole. He took people's publishing. He treated people poorly. He got too close to the sun and burned his fucking wings off, right? He acted like a prick. He beat up his girlfriend a few times. 100% did that. Power hungry, all that type of shit. Or he went around and raped 100 to 200 people. And no one said anything about it. Nobody. And then once one person came forward, they all sued him. I mean, it just doesn't sound right.
What's really realistic though is that people want the perks, they show up, then they get
That's exactly.
pushed to go down paths, and then they
No, they don't get
stay.
pushed.
Let me finish. Let me finish. And then they stay in these situations for the perks. They start doing stuff they don't want to do, and then they hit a breaking point. And then the question is the situation with her, that situation where there was coercion and a sense of not being safe, not being able to leave the situation because you decide you no longer like the deal, you don't like the exchange, you don't like how it's evolved, where it's going. So you try to exit, and then can you do
I'm telling
that?
you right now. I'm telling you right now. The prosecution made a mistake by putting Cassidy up there as a star witness.
I
They
do
fucked up
agree.
on it. They fucked up
I
on
do
that,
agree with that.
and they're like, "Fuck." And and that's the they were talking about the feds did that.
Can
So
you?
sorry.
Who do you think would have made the better witness to put up there to lead?
Dawn is up there now. Yeah, I'm with Jeremy about Cassie.
I've been there with Dawn. Dawn's been there
Yeah,
forever. Dawn,
I
like,
know you know Dawn. Yeah.
please, Dawn has been there forever. Like, when she talks, I'm like, Dawn, what are you fucking talking about? Like, you've been, what are you, what?
Do you think Aubrey will testify? She's been talking for years.
Aubrey is a retard. Let's just start there. Aubrey is an intention setting retard. She's always been that way. And she's always going
She
to
is
be.
a little goofy.
She will not testify because she's a fucking retard.
Am I the only one who hasn't seen any of the trial?
Probably.
I haven't seen anything either. I went into, I think, yeah, it was Don's room, and he was playing something that somebody else was playing, but I didn't see any of the testimony, nothing like that. I would come in here to
Bro,
get updated.
I didn't even know the testimony was public yet.
I mean,
I'm
some
just
of the
going
shit
off.
they're saying, Jeremy, is disgusting.
I'm just going off what I'm reading off TMZ.
Yeah, Jeremy. It's you can't see inside the courtroom. You know that. It's just a bunch of bloggers and creators on YouTube talking about what is being stated in the courtroom and things like that.
And I'll tell you what else is happening. Puffy has some of the best media team out right now, flipping everybody. You see, this is going to get interesting.
I'm just interested to know who's coming up next. Like after Dawn, like there's 6 weeks of this.
Yeah.
It's true though what Hillary's what Hillary said, because like for instance Chris Brown, when I hear that name, like it's stuck.
Brianna.
Exactly, it's stuck. Right, easily to
But what if you?
Hillary.
But what if you didn't realize that? I've known Chris and Rihanna forever, and Rihanna is incredibly violent and beat the fuck out of him, and he finally flipped out and punched her out.
She was in the car. That's what I heard. She was in
She
the
whooped
car
his
beating
fuck. She
the
whooped
shit
his
out of
fucking
him.
ass.
Not surprised,
Point
but
still
without
carries. It's the court of public opinion. So if he isn't able to prove the things that he did right, not just defending himself, but everything else involved with it, like exactly what you just said. Everyone else's what's the word I'm looking for? Then it's not going to change court of public opinion. He's got to have to prove not only is he innocent, but everyone else that was there had their parts to play as well.
To answer your question, Jeremy, it doesn't matter that. Well, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, right? If she did, in fact, hit her or hit him the way in which you're saying, then that's wrong. However, no man has any reason whatsoever to put his hands on a woman
I
because
agree.
the level of violence that a man can incur and impose upon a woman is even a fraction of what a woman can actually do to a man. So if he wanted to get his get back, he does that in court, and he does
Tell
that
that to John
outs.
Bobbitt.
Doesn't
have you
matter.
seen Luis's biceps? I think it's good he thinks that way.
And John Bobbitt has made a fortune now, more than he ever would have made doing his little sleazy scale shit as a porn star. So he didn't really come out that bad in this whole situation. Just saying.
Just so you all know, what actually happened with Chris Brown and Rihanna is Chris was fucking his manager Tina Davis for a long time, right? And Rihanna and Chris were always in some kind of altercations. They were always fighting in the studio. And she went to his phone, saw messages from Tina, flipped out, punched him a bazillion times, went crazy. He fucking had a few drinks and ended up punching her and punching. It's like a total toxic relationship, right? But that's not what was painted. But that is actually what happened.
Not surprised. Point is though, right? The inside scoop is not what people
But
get. The majority
right,
mass opinion is what TMZ is saying. Like
right,
they turned on
exactly,
Bieber. They turn on people and they change the entire perception.
exactly, and that's what's happening right now. Is Puff has Harv in his pocket.
Hey, Jeremy,
Yeah.
I'm assuming that you were around Bieber.
Yes, I am. I'm very close with Kyle Massey and that whole crew. Yep.
Okay, is he okay?
I don't think so.
Is he going to be okay? Is he getting help?
Um, I think this Judah dude is probably pretty bad for him, and
Hmm.
I think Judah's manipulating him. And I was just talking to Kyle about it tonight. So, like, so there was like, so maybe y'all don't notice, but there's a group of friends that we were all friends with Justin. There's like me, Twist, Lil Zay, Kyle Massey, that whole crew, Chris King, and I, I don't know. I don't think he's going through a lot right now. I think he's. I think there was a lot of money spent. I think Scooter did a lot of bad things to him. We hate Scooter. I hate fucking Scooter. But Ryan is missed. There's a lot of people that have been pushed out of his life by certain
Ryan, his
people.
dad?
Huh?
That his dad?
No, no, by this Judah dude. It's like I think Justin's in a cult. To be honest with you,
Justin is just wearing it. He's
I think
wearing it on
he
his
just
face
looks
and his
bad.
body. And yes, he does, and I'm very concerned.
He,
Very low on his
I'm
hips.
not,
Wait,
I'm not,
is
I'm not gonna talk about his business, but he don't look like Beeps. He don't look like Jay. He don't look like him at all. I just literally called. I
Yeah,
literally called Kyle. I was like, "Yo, dog, like, y'all need to like, what is up? Like, what's going on? Because I don't live out there. I'm like, what the fuck is like, what is this shit? Like, who is this Judah dude? Like, what's the situation? Like, what is happening?" I even called Zay and I was like, "Zay, like, where are you at?" He's like, "I was just with him. Like, we were just together." But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's you like, bro. When people talk about Justin, it is such a sad thing, bro, to see. I mean, we're
hmm
talking about since he was, a 13-year-old kid. He has lived his life in a bubble. I mean, we, I would, he can't even leave the house without people like just harassing him. You know what I mean? Like, I just want you to imagine that you can't leave the house, you can't enjoy your family, you can't walk down the street. Like Puff gets in some shit. Now everybody's saying Puff molested you or raped you like all day, every day on TV. Like, it has nothing to do with them. But, like, it's just like, and a lot of people spent his money. He had to sell his publishing for 200 million. Justin should be worth a couple billion right now. Scooter's worth that. Scooter's just a fucking piece of shit. I don't know, man. I just think that he's going through it, and if y'all could pray for Justin, that would be
absolutely,
good. I think he needs like
absolutely. And
I think he's.
you know who else I worry about is Q from Day 26.
Oh, she look bad.
Oh my gosh, yes, he cried. I'll try to send you the link.
Is it
Um,
bad? Like, what happened?
Um, the whole, they got back together and they were on Vlad. Vlad interviewed him. Go look at Vlad. Day 26 on Vlad. Go look at he's got it in segments and then he's got the whole thing together.
Mhm.
Um, go to about a fourth of the way in and he starts crying. They all start crying. It's oh boy, get your tissues. That's all I
About
know.
what? What are you crying about?
Um, some emails that he witnessed with somebody that Puff is involved with Puff, and I don't know, man. I wasn't there, so I don't know. Something not
Right.
Puff
What was it saying?
directly, but somebody that was involved with them and Puff. And some emails that he saw and something else. He said that he's schizophrenic now and he has to take a shot like once a month and shit. Sad.
Yo, guys, let me just tell you something right now. Like, I'm be dead ass serious. What I'm saying.
What
you're
happened?
muted.
Yeah,
Okay, I was like, wait, what the hell?
dead ass serious, then
And then he
silence.
And then just
disappears.
quiet. Dun 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 dun.
The cliffhanger.
I could guess. It's something about probably his understanding, which actually a lot of us don't have, which is what freaking being in a bubble does to people. What fame that people
Absolutely.
does to people. Like, what a trip, right? To never be able to trust people because they get something if they're around you before your prefrontal cortex even comes online.
Can I ask a quick question?
Absolutely.
Is this stage still recorded? That is it's a public stage right now.
I don't think we did a show tonight. I don't know.
Well, it's still
They're,
live
Yes,
on
it
they're
was way
Facebook.
too
always
chill of a room.
recorded.
The stage
It's
the
live
stage is
on
always
X.
recorded.
You
The
guys,
No,
stage
it's
is
live.
always
Yeah.
recorded.
it's